of a brand new DPC season. It's a brave new world of Dota 2, but some things never change. Team Secret in dominant form in our opening series. They're going up against NiP in our second one. Now, we're going to give you up-to-date stuff in just a moment, but I want to introduce you to two brand new people because we've lost Fogged. Apparently, he's got lost somewhere in Malaysia, and Admiral Bulldog's gone to apply for his visa for TI next year. Instead, we've got two people on the panel that are more than able to replace them. We've got PLD and BSJ alongside GODZ. I'm not quite sure what GODZ stands for, but...
Get out, Donger. Z.
Bulldog. Sorry, did we replace Bulldog, or is he still here in God's top or something? Anyway, hi gents, how you doing? You good?
Bit jet lagged, as expected.
You are very jet lagged, but you came in quite late.
Yeah, I got yesterday.
Yeah.
So 15-hour flight back from Dream League and then 22-hour to get here. That was just, I blame myself for the poor
Why
planning.
didn't you just come straight here?
I have myself to blame.
You do. Only yourself to blame. Johan, how you doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah.
I'm alright.
You're sitting in the Bulldog chair.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can fill his shoes?
No, they're too big, but I'm surprised I did get this shirt. But no, I'm happy.
So it's nice and comfortable. Watch some quality Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I'm ready.
Looking forward to this next one?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, this is gonna be a better matchup than the other series, I believe. Like these were my predictions for top 2 for this group.
Yeah, I think they were
I thought it was pretty straightforward. So I mean, we'll see.
I thought it was most people's predictions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Most people think these were going to be the top 2 in the team, in the group.
I think so. I mean, Pain looked pretty good at ESL, getting top 4, but I was a bit surprised to see NiP get drought both games because it is just they always go for that when they can. But that's something that should a rematch happen down the lower bracket, probably we won't see again.
Yeah, it sometimes happens that way. We might not even see it in this game either. Mr. BSJ, you've picked out a couple of players.
Yes.
To highlight.
Picking the carry heroes, or carry players, I feel like a bit biased here, but just the fact that Ace also got replaced by Nisha going into Secret, I thought was pretty interesting, like coming into this series, because I feel like when I was listening to the cast of the last series, we were talking about a lot about the Nisha's impact as the carry player who can also play mid, and how he's a little bit more flashy. I feel like Ace kind of plays all these, cheesy heroes, like
wacky ones.
Yeah, the wacky heroes. There you go.
But they're flashy in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Ace is flashy in the heroes he plays, but
but
not how he plays them.
Yeah, and then Nisha's flashy with the plays that he makes. Like he plays these morphlings and like the crazy triple leap Mirana plays like over trees to catch up to the Mirana and stuff. Just
buys rapiers even though Puppy doesn't want him to.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets to.
You're gonna have some balls to do that in a game where Puppy's like, no rapier. I'm buying rapier. No rapier. I'm buying rapier.
Just to do it around Puppy in general.
I mean, right? I mean, that's amazing. I don't. You've played with him. Would you do that?
With Puppy?
Yeah.
No, I played with Envy and Puppy. There were a lot of rapiers.
And big loss.
Dude, someone wants to buy a rapier. You can't stop them. Right?
The craziest was an anti-mage game where you got like second item or something because you guys were losing, or like third item, a rapier on an anti-mage.
No, I think that was TF5, right?
Yeah, that was the one where he threw it.
That was with the misery knockout. But
and then he threw it in the mid lane.
They almost came back.
But then he threw the rapier in the mid lane.
Probably.
Yeah, dropped in the mid lane. Literally dropped it and they were like, free rapier.
The thing is, criticizing Envy for rapiers is kind of unfair, because I believe he has bought like 100 times more than any other player. So.
I think in that game we were talking about, I think he bought 2.
I believe you.
We'll just go with it at this point, because it's probably right? But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? They trade one, gods, for another. And I have to say, like when we were looking at this last season, before TI, you sort of looked at the team and you went, Ace is brilliant. He fits Secret well. He's kind of a Puppy-style player. He's got that in him. This team looks great around him. And then they get rid of him, and you're like, wow, they're going to struggle. And actually, in some ways, people are saying they've got an upgrade.
Well, at least so far it's looked that way with Secret. Ace fit the team incredibly well. It's also Fata who was on the team Secret and being removed. So we've got 2 players who were on that original Secret roster for the entirety of last year have been replaced. And Ace was a big part of Secret's success. He brought some unique play styles to the team, a unique hero pool, something that Puppy really played around very well.
And on the other side of things, if Ace had been in Optic last season...
Wait, who?
Ace. If Ace had been in Optic last... Because effectively this is sort of Optic 2.0. Don't want to take anything away from NiP, but it's got that same kind of feel. It's got the same kind of vibe around it. They built similar kind of styles. It's a PPD team. Ace fits that style perfectly, doesn't he?
Who was Optic's carry last name?
Pycat.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to think. No, they're a bit different, right?
But it feels like a PPD lineup.
Well, I feel like every team that PPD is on has like a draft advantage almost every time, and I feel like having
because of the depth of the heroes that the players playing.
I feel like PPD is just the master drafter, is what I'm trying to say, and I feel like having a player like Ace helps that a lot because we talked about all the wacky heroes, and obviously he's not at this tournament, but if you combine Ace with 33, suddenly you've got so many potential last pick, just game-winning heroes, and I feel like that fits PPD really well from the carry role.
But it also becomes a bit weird because, like, the meta hits differently, right? Like with the patches gets released, and then like for example this meta is like Morphling Terrorblade for me and PL, and then if you have like a character like Sylar, like he's the opposite to Ace, I would say. Like you don't feel as comfortable, I think, first doing a Morphling for Ace as you would for these other carries. Like I guess that's the difference, and that's why Puppy maybe wanted to replace him.
I do feel like.
What did you do with Nisha? Because we've seen him pick Morphling first two many times, and Nisha just goes up. Did it in first game today.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
And TI, you saw OG just first round Spectre every game, and it just feels like this patch, even especially after TI, because every little sub patch has been nothing but nerfs. A lot of the nerfs have gone to carry heroes, and something I felt personally was that every carry hero is like so bad that you're stuck picking the same ones over and over again.
And we saw these in the games earlier, right? Like, because we saw like there was always Terrorblade in one team, right?
Yeah.
And then the other team, they're trying to figure something else. We see like a Sven, we see
the PL, Sinark Warden.
Well, yeah, they're just trying different counters, but it's not
Zeus.
It's not really
nothing's on par with.
No, but yes, like in the carry position.
The Zeus worked out.
Yeah, but that's like
reasonably okay.
It's like the mid hero, right?
Yeah.
So like you can pick Tinkers and stuff, but if you have to counter Terrorblade with a carry, it feels really hard.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
Same with PL and Morphling.
Yeah.
And so those heroes, the thing about Morphling that makes them the most scary, I think, out of all three is it almost block picks 2/3 of the mid hero pool, because like the heroes like Invoker just get crushed by Morphling in the mid lane. So if you first round Morphling, you're effectively making so the other team can't do that. And I feel like when you have a player like Nisha in this patch, it's almost better to be the guy that just is the master of those three heroes.
Yeah, we've also seen that IO Gyro. We've already seen it today. We saw it at DreamHack obviously as well. Again, it doesn't work, does it? If you're going to have the Morphling the first two, and then you're going to go IO Gyro, that's kind of okay. The good players on Morph are just going, that's fine by me.
Especially if you have the start that he had. And like the only reason IO Gyro can possibly beat Morph is because you like keep the Morphling down for a bit. But if you put him mid lane and he just stomps it, he's going to be so much faster paced.
That was one of those classic though, like I think, I don't know what you want to call it, like maybe inexperienced team or whatever you want to call it.
Got baited.
Like, yeah, I don't think they were thinking about Morph mid or something. It's like or they don't understand the matchup good enough, maybe the drafter, they're not communicating.
Nisha's more, I mean...
No, I don't know, because like, that's the thing with Morph. Like you have to think about him like different tiers. Necro you have to think about in 3 lanes, right? Like you have to be able to dominate in 3 lanes. And Morphling, it's 2 lanes. Like you have to be able to in the safe lane and the mid lane.
Yeah.
And then you end up with a matchup like that. Like it looks, it looks disgusting. When Morphling gets a good lane like that, it's like
they last banned Kunkka thinking, oh, let's protect Amarana by banning Kunkka, and I was like, well, we actually already have someone to crush you mid. So.
Was Lina banned in that game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because as far as I know, that's the only hero that beats Morphling mid.
Yeah.
Like from what I've seen.
TA does well.
TA does too? Okay.
You can dual lane a TA though, so it gets, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like to see this Morphling when I draft, honestly.
Because I heard somebody talking about it earlier, like who do you actually pick to beat Morphling?
Well, that was the question, wasn't it, in that first game? It was like when the Marana in the last pick, and you were kind of like, yeah, but what does that do exactly?
You got 3 heroes.
But then we were like, well, what else do you pick though?
Yeah.
Because there isn't really a much better answer. So, Fox still thinking about it. He's gone back to his hotel. He's done him in. He's killed him for the day.
He's lost on the street.
So I shouldn't have been a Marana. Shouldn't have been a Marana. Let me think of one of the other 117 heroes in this game. There must have been something better. He's out there now. He's running around, and people are just looking at him going, that guy's sick. There's something wrong with him. He's still trying to think of a hero to replace Marana. So that's tough, right? As we move forward, there is no Liquid here, obviously, but we have got a Liquid player in this game.
As far as stand-ins go...
it's not bad standing, really, is it? Let's be honest.
Pretty damn good.
It's like the best. No, it's only not like how good he is as a player, but like if you watch the... I haven't played with him myself, but like I played a few pubs, right? And you saw the... What's the movie they make after you win TI?
True Side.
Yeah.
Like how he talks in the draft. Like he just makes a perfect stand-in. Like he will communicate very well. And like I think he gets into the team, like integrates very fast.
I asked Kuro once what was his strength when he's drafting, and he said he's just no bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. no. If he sees something, he'll just
that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
He's very direct about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to help them a lot. And then how does that impact on PPD's drafting style compared to Kuro's? Because Kuro always seems a little bit calmer to me in terms of like in the booth, in the moment, whereas Peter's maybe a bit more emotional.
I mean, I'm feeling the impression you're getting is like if he thinks there's a hero that's good for him, he just says it on Mind Control. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but not only for himself, for others too. Or like he'll call. I mean, and the thing is, if he's feeling his own hero, like he'll just call for his first pick. Like,
I feel like with a stand-in, that's really nice to have for someone like Peter. But I feel like also, even if that is what he's like, I feel like he'll be naturally a bit more reserved during the draft as a stand-in. So I feel like
because he doesn't know the team. And
and I feel like
get used to their style.
He's going to tell him confidence on his own hero, and that's something that it can't be understated, like how important it is that people are confident on what hero you give them. Because I've been on teams where you just like end up having the captain pick the heroes for you, and like that can be nice and all, but the most important thing is that the player playing the hero knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing, exactly why the hero was picked in the draft. So having somebody like that, like just stand in for you and say, "That's what I want. Pick it for me." Like these players are good enough to play around it. I think overall it should be a good fit, and obviously like
it fits perfectly in this patch too, because I think you're going to be first twoing the offlaner almost every game, and it makes it way more simple. Then he can call for a couple of bans and like what he wants to lane with, and like it's going to make drafting way more simple. Yeah,
he's super flexible as we know as well as a good hero pool. So
it's probably the easiest role to stand in right now.
Is it?
I feel like.
That's right.
I feel like carry role, for instance, is really difficult to have like a stand-in on because the style of carry is so unique. I feel like from patch to patch, and I feel like the carry is almost always your win condition. So it changes the whole way the whole team has to play. If you just have like a team fight offlaner, it doesn't change anything.
Is that meta related as well?
Yeah, I'm saying meta related right now.
Okay. All right. Well, draft is not too far away. Gods, what are you expecting? Bit of fireworks between these two captains?
Yeah, very strategic battle. I mean, Puppy's one of the most unique drafters out there. He's really pushing the limits of this patch that, everyone's ready for the new patch, but Puppy's saying there's still some stuff that we can explore. And then PPD's just a draft mastermind, as BSJ puts it. He'll be very well prepared, has some kind of key go-to. I kind of put him as cheese strats a bit that he really likes, like the Drow strats and the past with the Visage strats, Brood Pigs, Huskers.
Brood,
he very much leans on these, I think, from time to time, but even without them, they're still a great team.
My first question to all of you was going to be, is the Drow going to be first phase ban? That one's gone out the window then. No surprise, really.
I'm just excited for like these team solutions to, especially Enigma and Axe, because I think it looks like some of those heroes are going to go through. Like Enigma just as a hero, like when I've been drafting against it, I'm very confused what to pick, like for a carry hero.
Really?
I've heard that like you can pick offlaners like Pango and stuff, and the same thing with this offlane Axe that cuts creeps, and it gets even more complicated versus Secret to just put it as a 5/2. So I want to see like what ideas they have, because NiP they seem to be letting through like almost everything right now.
Yeah, Weaver's been really popular, obviously, to get rid of that. IO, fairly safe first round ban.
I talked to PPD this morning, and it was pretty funny because he was talking about how this patch, even though it's like solved a lot in pubs and stuff, in competitive, it's like when one team starts drafting weird, your only response can be to start drafting weirdly as well. So I feel like that's very likely to be seen in this series, just because Secret, like you guys have mentioned, has been the team that continues to whip out new strategies. And it's like the reason I feel like in Dota right now, in this meta especially, with it kind of being solved for the most part, is if you either have like one different hero in the game or you have like 6. Because like one team picked a weird one, then they responded with a weird one.
And they're going back to 2014 to find a counter.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is over time, the counters still exist, like the same ones. So
it's the same theory behind it, isn't it? That TA Lina, you're still going, oh, there's a Lina.
Yeah.
Oh, we banned TA. Oh, they'll probably go for a Lina.
Some heroes are only picked because they counter what's good. The hero itself isn't exactly good in the meta, but they counter what is good. So that makes them like a viable pick.
I mean, we see Timbo's, right? Timbo's not been good for a while, but we still see it now and again because
there's like 4 strength heroes.
A certain draft means you can pick it last, and it actually makes a lot of sense. No one picking Windrunner these days, though. Sad times.
Windrunner, yeah, it was picked by NiP.
Yeah.
2 games in a row. I think they paired both games with Drow, today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they love playing...
I see, I didn't watch those. I was watching the A-Stream
They love playing Sax on the 4th position Wind Ranger with Drow. It's like their go-to.
They're going to pick Phoenix almost certainly since they banned Silencer.
But both Axe and Enigma too.
Enigma you mentioned,
Yeah. That's the big one.
Why would you? Okay, I guess Enigma that enables it too.
So a lot of that at DreamHack. Made sense, right?
Now it's interesting with because the good carries are Morphling and Terrorblade, so do they want one of those? Or do they want to... Let's see here. Yeah.
Okay, Wyvern Terrorblade.
This is like, it's funny, right? Because they could have picked the Phoenix instead of Wyvern too, but I'm guessing they think this is the lane versus Enigma. I played this lane myself, and my Terrorblade was level 3, and I think the Enigma's level 6. So I'll see. Yeah, they are straight Morphling.
Yeah. Secret going for 5 swirly heroes. That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, out of all the carries, or Wyvern's actually nice against Enigma because in the laning stage you level your W, and most carries can't hit the Eidolons very well, but with Terrorblade now you can meta and kill the Eidolons with the slow. It's actually very useful.
Like, you kind of can. The thing is, like, the wave starts at the Enigma's tower, like, if it blocks properly, and then they have a strong 4. So, like...
In my experience, if my support isn't a Wyvern, I get crushed by Enigma in lane. That's my experience.
I'm bound to see what happens.
Yeah.
But like, what's funny to me here is, like, it's like you see the Terrorblade and more... Like, usually you don't want to... Like, patches before, you don't want to do this, but now... Like, we've seen these different carries, and they're just not as strong.
You just teams know these are the carries you want.
Yeah.
And they're going to get counterpicked, but at the end of the day, you're better off having a TB that's counterpicked than having a Chaos Knight or something.
Or a good Sven game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, exactly.
A really good Sven game.
And I think that's partly why you kind of mentioned like the issues with Secret and Ace on the team was so many of their games they were 9th and 10th picking Ace's hero, but that just the meta evolved to a point where that wasn't winning your games.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dire team ban.
But Morphling, one nice thing about Morphling against Wyvern is that if you morph into Wyvern, you can activate the Q, and then you're just like 1,000 range for as a Morphling for the next, I think, 9 seconds or 8 seconds.
Wait, but the matchup Terrorblade Morphling, what do you think about that?
It's like the Morphling, if he gets off to a good start, it's like a really good matchup for Morphling.
Yeah.
As the game goes on, like I think Terrorblade's the stronger 6-slotted hero, but I do think Morphling, he just is really hard to fight into as a Terrorblade mid game. He can like reflect you. Oftentimes he can like steal some hero with a nuke, so he can like waveform on top of you, stun you, and then kill you before you.
Yeah, because I want to say Terrorblade is a strong team fighter, but at the same time, like if the Morphling has the same farm and like he has replicates you, I don't know.
Yeah,
like a Roche Fair or something.
It's definitely like a Morphling super or Terrorblade super early, Morphling mid game, and then Terrorblade later. I feel is how the matchup goes. So I feel like with Enigma that might give and Secret runs it as a 4. Like a decent percentage of the time, right? The Enigma. So I feel like they still have the option to have Terrorblade more heavily counterpicked than Morphling gets counterpicked. So that makes Morphling like obviously a little more favored.
Dire team picks. Team Secrets turn.
I feel like Necro is most commonly picked 3rd when you're 2nd pick, because that's like the pick that you get to ban without them seeing anything. So you can ban out like the 1 counter to Necro, which is like usually considered Pugna.
Yeah,
I don't know though. Like I don't think Necro beats either of these heroes in lane.
I agree. I think it's like a pick that a lot of teams default to, and there's nothing else that looks amazingly strong.
I mean, maybe they have a strong dual lane they thought of here.
Oh, I love that pick against Necro. Just owns it.
They're thinking of like just saving the Wyvern ultimate too.
Yeah, it's the disruption in the Necro Scythe or against the Necro Scythe. The ult from Shadow Demon constantly purges your Ghost Shroud. You you have to build a 4-staff on Necro, and it's like so bad. And you can't build BKB like against Morphling. You'll just die to him too. So completely hard counters Necro.
Now the lane might be a little weak though. Like if they do, they still can put this Morphling mid though. I hope they don't just lose because they forget about it. Because like what would it be? Like a Morphling Shadow Demon safe lane might lose to Necro dual lane.
They've already banned out the Lina, who BSA you mentioned one of the better heroes to put against it mid.
It's kind of like when you pick Lina, you get to ban TA. I feel like when you pick Morphling, you just have to ban Lina. It's not necessarily like it crushes your hero. It's just like the burst mid game's also nice. So it's just one of those heroes that you just don't want it to be in the game.
Actually, NiP should tiny it right here. That's what they should do. They seem to be struggling though. They're running out of time.
For 4-position tiny or like potentially?
They should be mid tiny. He one-shots all of these heroes, and I think he can lane burst everything.
Okay.
Nyx is enabled by Necro in terms of usually his laning stage is a little weaker, but and then Necro makes up for that.
Yep.
It makes it hard to black hole until you have BKB.
It's alright. It's alright. That's secret. You know.
It also makes it so Morphling can't like farm on really low health, which is kind of nice. Like if you have the Nyx
10 seconds.
scouting you out.
I mean, Nyx used to be really good versus Morph. Now, like, I've tried counter-picking Morph with Nyx, but, like, Mana Burn doesn't...
Remaining.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't, do, it doesn't do that much.
that is true. I'm sure in the last hero they'll look to pick something like Tiny, though, something that will utilize the Nyx assassin scouting the Morph to kill him full to 0. Same with the Enigma in fights. Like, you just need to have somebody that finds these heroes and bursts them down. Because
Yeah,
that's what the
I
Nyx
mean,
offers you.
The little annoying part is, like, their last pick, right? Yeah, they are. So they would want a counter matchup, but as you say, they need to pick an Ember Storm, Queen, like, something like that, Tiny.
I think at
Those
least
are the options.
the fact they can wait till they have the overall last pick, they maybe have a better idea if Morph is going mid. Because if Secret picks some other core that needs to go mid and can't swap the lanes, then maybe they're like, okay, we can pick an Invoker mid because he's not going to get this bad matchup.
There's the Panga. That was what we spoke about at the beginning.
So it's a Morph mid, right? Oh, no,
It
it might
could be
still-
anything.
could
Yeah.
be.
Oh, it's
Could
a
be
support
either.
Enigma, probably?
Yeah.
They're doing now the weird stuff.
Yep.
And that's what the first pick Enigma makes it even stronger for the team like Team Secret, since they run into support so often, that it also enables these like weaker laning offlaners like Pango that usually isn't picked just because of his laning stage, but his passive makes your armor 0.
5
So
seconds
Terrorblade,
remaining.
obviously known for his high armor, will go down to 0 anytime he gets procced by that.
Secret would pick... I think Tiny is actually good for both teams.
Isn't Tiny always good?
No, but he's like such one of those, like if you put him mid, he doesn't lose to anyone.
Yeah.
He's
that's-
really good in this second game draft that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, Tiny's definitely like a hero that this patch, a lot of teams pick him just because he doesn't lose his lane, and then you can just lose the game in the first 5 minutes sometimes.
No, but I guess like if you see these, like if you see Secret's lineup, for example, like when he gets Blink, I think they all just die. They just die.
10 seconds remaining.
Arc Warden. Alright, that's just a terrible counter.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, they picked the Nyx because like they were expecting a Tinker, I guess. That's why they Nyx.
Oh, yeah, that block
Uh,
picks that for sure against the TB Necro. That's a good point.
Tinker and Zeus, so like the kind of
Yeah,
go-to
yeah.
counters.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, I was going to say Zeus is still there. Something that Secret have run against the Terrorblade before.
You're just no longer as scared with the next pickup,
Yeah.
which is why they banned Arc Warden, who's like the non-int hero that,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe counters TB. We keep seeing this Arc Warden versus TB, and I feel like TB keeps winning, so I'm not totally sold on that idea.
I feel like
Is that one of those that you get where all the captains go, yeah, no, that has to work, so I'm going to do it again. And then it doesn't work because of something else. And you go, all right, now I figured that bit out. Now I'm going to try it again, but not do that. Like, Puppy does this, Kuro does this. There's a number of captains who had this belief that this hero is definitely a counter, right?
No, but like it's like a known thing that Arc Warden counters Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows it, but I don't know.
but it isn't
Is it-
working,
is it
though.
true? Like,
But it doesn't.
No,
it's
like you look at the skill set and you're like, okay, the bubble is just straight up counters Metamorph. Like TB doesn't have a way to deal with it unless he goes MKB. He's a hero that needs to build stat items. Can't build MKB, at least not easily. Like on paper, he's a counter, and then you see the game and it feels pretty good at times, but you just can't win games with Arc Warden
Well,
easily.
and the later it goes as well, right?
Yeah, the game
The worse it gets for the arc.
And sometimes one hero is just a better hero than the other.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of how it is sometimes, too.
That's definitely the case.
When Terrorblade's just a really good hero and Arc Warden's kind of like a mediocre hero.
I'm challenging my inner Nahaz right now.
Man.
Stats don't lie.
You nailed it,
Johan.
man.
He's ignoring me now. He's like, no, I don't believe it. Stats do lie. Oh, ding ding.
Kunka.
Captain's in the house.
I mean, this just opens up. They have so many good picks there, like especially Storm. I think Storm is really good.
Could they Huskar?
Oh, could they Husker?
I don't love it against the
No,
Enigma.
I don't think it's good. Like if they Husker, I think they're making a mistake.
Okay. You think they're like too heavily focused on lanes if they do that?
Yeah, no, I think they should just pick a hero that's good, something that kills. Like
Something
right
that
now,
jumps the Nyx or the
something that
Enigma?
just moves at all. Like if you look at their lineup now, they can't. Their heroes
can't
just
rotate.
sit. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just sitting there. Like you might want to pick like a Olnage. What is that? What's that?
That's a
Husker. Yeah, it is. It's
Husker.
It's PPD. You know,
I think they lost. I actually just think they lost, but we'll see.
I'm honestly not a huge fan of the pick, even though I kind of like thought they might do it anyway. It's just like they're going off the strategy that they have Necro Terrorblade, so like the Necro and the Huskar will snowball the early game, and then the Terrorblade will just capitalize on that early lead. Since I talked about like as long as he's ahead of the Morphling, it's a good matchup. So I think that was the goal with this pick.
I mean, it can happen. Like they can win, but I've seen, especially Secret, they usually win these games. Like
I agree.
Mid one is level 4 and the Huskar's level 7, and then
Huskars a really hard time playing against Enigma as the game goes on. So
like yeah.
All right, let's get some predictions. BSJ.
I'm going to predict Team Secret overall. I feel like Ninja's Pajamas is on a Roche timer. They have to win with the first Roche, or like take a Rax with the first Roche. Otherwise, they're going to lose. And I think Team Secret's a good enough team to like cause enough chaos to make that happen.
Okay, Mr. GODZ.
Gonna take a chance on NiP with their strong lanes.
Okay.
No, I'm actually.
And Mr. PLD.
I believe.
Wait, let's see here. There's a Necro and a Nyx. What is that? Let's go NiP. I think the Knicks might actually have a good enough game. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
All right, okay. Well, there we go. Then the predictions are done. Sort of done, anyway. There's not a consensus here of an opinion of who's had the better draft, but I wonder what our commentary team think as we head back to Toby and Kyle.
Yes, I'm looking forward to getting Kyle's opinion. BSJ said we're going to watch Roshan in the upcoming game. He was the only one to believe. On the one
this
side,
is the
like,
third game
Secret.
NiP's played. This is their second Huskar. I'm surprised they didn't get Drow with it as well. I feel like Secret's got this super solid lineup. I think that last pick Kunkka is not just one of Mid One's best heroes, but fits flawlessly into like their whole core concept. Long team fights, set up for the Shadow Demon, catch for the Pango. Like it's just great synergy, and I think that they're not. NiP is just not going to win this game. It's too much, man.
I've heard you deal in absolutes before, man, and it is not ended well for you.
Well, you gotta have strong opinions one way or another. Both teams can win. I just think Secret is on another level right now.
Yep, that's the ultimate Dota thing. Like anybody can win at any time. Like Dota Plus very rarely ever shows you 100% victory going one way, which means there's always that 1% chance. But I am interested to see how the Nyx Assassin plays out. It was one of the picks that the panel was talking about, potential counter pick towards a Tinker, who was another hero we're throwing up for both sides of the fence.
Yep. We were talking about it backstage, actually, with Pi, BSJ, and Fogged and Gran, all during the break. It's cool. There's so many people here, by the way. It's great. There's always people to bounce ideas off of, but we all believe that Tinker should be counted as not just like a great. He's one of the Exodia heroes. Okay, there's Meepo, Huskar, Brood, Alchemist, and I really think that fifth one is Tinker. And I think he's going to catch on by the end of this tournament because he really would have crushed both teams' drafts if you removed the Nyx from NiP.
The battle for the runes is already beginning. On top, there will be Saxa with a nice stun to keep Zai out, and that will mean that the Team Secret they will claim 2 of the 4 and same for NiP. So pretty well balanced. It will be Ace with the Wyvern and a PPD towards that off lane. Ace gets to enjoy playing up against his former team, and he'll even play up against his replacement Nisha, who's on that bottom lane. So it'll be Nisha and Puppey together, and then that mid lane, Fada going up against mid one. Should be an interesting battle. A lot of harass. You're actually saying in the previous series, like the harass game just doesn't work. How does it work though with a Huskar when you got these burning spears?
And that's a different story because Huskar also can orb walk, and that makes it a far easier task to harass someone out of lane because you're never drawing creep aggro, and especially when you're up against a melee.
Terrorblade, you're actually not looking too good. That's 5 stacks, 6 stacks of Shadow Poison. 32 HP Ace will drop down to, and he'll have his salve cancelled off as well. Oh, Puppey.
Really well done by Puppey, and I love the build too. Just 4 mangoes, so he's always able to threaten more poison stacks. You don't want to have mana pots because Shadow Demon's a snowballer. You have to keep these stacks going if you're actually going to do the damage. And as you can see, he's just chasing down Peter. Meta just faded as well.
Oh, Puppey is like, what's he gonna? He's not going to burn another mango. He missed the 4th stack. Mid one's already burned through his salve. Fada. Mid one doesn't even get through the full duration of it, and Fada's just going to town. That's 7, 8, 9, 10 burning spears. Mid one knows he's dead. The torrent won't connect, and Fada muscling out the Kunkka in the mid lane.
Although mid one is getting a lot of CS, which you want to have this go down. If you're going to lose a lane, do it because you're dying. You don't want to be in a position as a Kunkka where you're just unable to CS at all. However, this lane never gets any easier, especially when Fata gets hill control. This is something mid one's got to fix ASAP, because if that lane stays where Fata can control it, mid one's never able to CS because, again, the orb walking. You're always going to take spear damage, and you can't counter harass.
You got rotations from NiP, so Saxa going to head down to the bottom lane. Puppey with the double damage rune. Doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, but that's the reason why Mangoes. And they turn over. So the stump, it's good. And control, Nisha does not have waveform. And when adaptive strike as well as the attribute shift, so no way to escape the gank. And that's 2-0 up now for NiP.
I like what they've done. They recognize that they can bring 3 down bottom and crush an incredibly weak lane in Shadow Demon Morphling, because up top, it's a Pango Enigma. You're never going to apply pressure here, but neither are they. You can't kill an Enigma, or sorry, a Necro with these 2 heroes, and Necro's always able to push the wave. So Mind Control is going to win this lane, or at least trade 1v2. And bottom, you can dominate.
Well, Yaps are going to try and add some of the pressure. The conversions will die, however, with the jump forward from Pango. They may just have enough damage to get through Mind Control. He doesn't have any level of Ghost Shroud, but it will not matter. It seems just backing off, and you're right, Necro can survive.
Yep. And the way Enigma lanes want to play is just passive, bring the lanes back, utilize a slow but steady GPM increase, because you're denying and farming jungle when the enemy team can't. But if you're going to lose your mid and your bottom lane in trade, it's not worth it anymore. And NiP recognizing how you have to address this Enigma, at least in the laning phase.
I think they're looking for a go on bottom lane. Disruption is out with Catcher. The follow-up and a spike carapace from the next assassin, stunning up both Nisha as well as Puppey. But Nisha into the trees. He's strength morphing up. Does he have enough? He jukes them! He goes down, he comes back up again, and NiP, it's okay. They have another stun available, maybe with a Splinter Blast and slow. Nisha just does not have a way to survive. He will go down, and Mind Control forcing Zai back, and this gank from Yapsor, it's such a waste of time. He's been underneath that dire Observe Ward for so long that even when he rotates in towards the mid, Fada knows he's safe.
Yep. And it's just huge issues now for Secret, because you can't recover the lanes anymore. The benefit of the NiP draft is once they're ahead, Necro Huskar, they turn that advantage into survivability, just raw survivability. You can no longer take them out with the mid-game and very ultimate dependent lineup of Secret.
Secret, they had such, I don't want to say an easy run in their first series, but NiP have really challenged them. Great movement around the lanes, great drafting as well. Battling up against this Nisha Morphling, who had an unbelievable game previously. But this is still only the very early game. Yes, the CS and the gold is definitely going the way of NiP. You've got runes up in 7 seconds, and they're already looking to contest it. So Puppey's coming over. Yapsor's here to try and help it out. And it's that rotation of these Team Secret supports trying to have a bigger influence. And maybe they have a chance to get PPD, but the poison doesn't reach him. PPD will be fine, gets up the hill and away.
This is troubling. This is the dream Necro game for Mind Control. Obviously, ringing for NiP as a stand-in, but doesn't really matter how much you play with the team. This Necro is, with this bunch of a lead, you're played the same pretty much every game. You just take over. And I like what Zayas Pangos did. He's got a bottle. He's just trying to spam creep waves to try and get some CS, but you can never kill Necro or even harass him. So
they're coming again down to bottom lane once again. This Observe was giving Nisha a little bit more confidence to stay where he is. Just seeing the other side of the tree, so Splinter Blast from Wyvern's the only harassment against him. There's this top lane fun as well between Mind Controllers and Zai. And I don't know what he's meant to do there, but then you look towards mid. Mid one started jungling. As Fada hits level 6, he's almost level 7. He's ready for a quick jump, he just needs some help.
I like what Yapsor has done here, though. Instead of being top, where, as we discussed, he can't do anything to a Necro, he's safeguarding mid lane in a way for mid one, helping him stay alive. Oh no.
Yep, there's your jump in towards mid. Mid one begins his TP out very, very quickly. Nisha as well is copying a hell of a lot of damage on the bottom lane. Sox is just being more of a nuisance in the jungle. But Nisha's copped 2 blasts. Splinter Blast from PPD to the face.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get his life back to try and fight against Ace, but Ace just turns in that metamorphosis.
It's incredible how well Nisha's done down bottom though. He's 23 and 19 against the 17 and 12 Terrorblade. I cannot believe that he's kept up. It's very impressive.
Even the net worth's not that bad. Like, he has cracked, he's got the same amount of net worth as Ace.
So the main issue is this mid lane, and as you said at the start, PPD actually selected, he had priority, he chose second pick.
Yep.
And it's, I believe, because he and a lot of these other teams placed this high priority on having that 10th pick, which more often than not is a 1-to-1 counter for whatever the enemy side picked mid. And in this case, it also has the benefit of being a major component of NiP's win condition. And the Aegis carrier. You hate having a TB that needs to pick up the Aegis for your squad.
Nisha is trying to bait them in to try and fight. Puppey's actually leaving. He's TPing all the way back to base. He's got nothing more to give. He's burned all of his mana, so Nisha has to be careful. Up on top, that's going to miss. But, and Nisha, if Saksa, he's waiting for Nisha to hit him so he can hit the Spike Carapace, then the follow-up into the Impale. The strength morphing up. He's making this really hard for him. He's going all the way down with agility. PPD. They know where he is thanks to that Observer Wall that was already down. And Team Secret just want to put one kill on the board with a rotation of mid one. They will find it. So finally chalking one up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is the thing, though. Eventually, as you can see, NiP is going to have to abandon bottom because Morphling just gets too strong. Mid, Yaps are not level 6.
They don't have X marks to spot as well, so they can't control up Varda's position. But they need a hell of a lot more damage than what they've got. And something which isn't just the magical.
Yep. You got to keep in mind, though, the way NiP's lineup works is that it's supposed to be ahead, but it needs to stay ahead. Huskar and Necro can't influence the map or the game if they're not so powerful. It requires more enemy heroes to address their influence. It's going to be key that NiP starts to turn this 3k advantage into towers. As you can see, the Necro TP has smoke with ult ready.
Yep.
This is the sort of play you need to make. You've got to kill Nisha, get to tower, get the momentum rolling.
And if you can get a Reaper Scythe onto him as well, he's going to be down for so long that momentum into the tower will be even
He's
more
dead if he gets
effective. And PPD, all he needs to do is just hit him with a Splinter Blast and then follow into the Reaper Scythe. The damage is not enough to get the kill on him. And Nisha waveforms underneath the tower, strength morphs up. And they do not find the kill that they were looking for.
Oh, bottom the mid ones. This is the SD Conquer combo.
Yep, SD just disrupted up, follow up Torrent, and they've got so much poison onto PPD. The ship flies forward, and with the X mark, pull him back. The mid one for his second rotation to the bottom lane finds his second kill of the game as Pango jumps around and Zai killing off Saksa.
Well played by Zai. His Pango, I think, I was talking with Moon at the minor. His theory is that only ex-Han players can play Pangolier because he's almost straight out of the game. His abilities are like real weird, vector targeting, etc., etc. The best three are Boxy, Moon, and Zai. And it's always a treat to watch one of these superstars make this hero look absolutely broken, which I personally believe he is.
10-minute bounty runes are under attack as nice Torrent actually keeps Varda away for a little bit of time, so Puppey tries to juke in the Fog of War, begins his TP out, and they won't see him, they won't have the damage. Puppey, the regeneration of the fountain will keep him alive. Meanwhile, Zai is bottling up runes. All the regeneration in the world. He'll find a haste rune as well, and they're pinging out PPD. Yapsaw only has to hit one Malefice, and they'll probably find the kill in mid. But instead, Zai's looking towards bottom lane. Working with Nisha, Mind Control has very little mana, 1/1 charge to work with, and Zai into the Rolling Thunder. Bounces through Mind Control, jumps straight back out, hitting Farder on the way through. And they can keep going, high movement speed. Do they have the life? However, Nisha starts to burn up a little bit more, and they really commit to kill off Farder. The commitment is worth it. Zai claiming a double kill on bottom.
And that was NiP just getting way too greedy with their movements. They're trying to get their supports level 6. Both Wyvern and Nyx hit a peak, so they have a lane each. TB's in the jungle, so there's no tower pressure applied anywhere else. And they make a move with their two strongest heroes on map and get punished hard. This is the benefit of Kunkka and Pango. The moment they're online, you cannot fight into them anymore. And you can see Zai Pango, he did that, I don't know how to explain it, but there's not a bug, but an intended mechanic where if you stop your Rolling Thunder while in the middle of Shield Crash, you can cast your, what's it called? Your Q, the Swashbuckle, and you land, I don't know how to explain it. You like Shield Crash on your where you are, but you end up moving away with the Swashbuckle. I don't know how to explain it. Ask a Pango player. But he knows what he's doing. That's the point.
Goes past the player, repositions behind, and still does the damage the way you want.
And that was a hard punish. Like all of a sudden, the game is even, and as we discussed, like Secret, you win fights.
Rolling Thunder's out once again. You may just see it happen once more. So there's the pickup, Mind Control. No, turn around, bounce him again. As mid one has a good follow through. Saksa was really thinking about helping out. It's the end of his vendetta that he has.
And all of a sudden, that huge lead that NiP built up in the lanes is gone, and now Secret's draft is online. And the Shadow Demon is no longer the worst hero in Dota, but all of a sudden a hard counter to not just Necro, but TB and Huskar. Thanks to the damage amplification from your W, you can make illusions of the TB, the auto purge on everything Necro does. There's no way for Necro to itemize to survive in this game, which is why you see him going for a Force Staff. Any sort of immunity or resistance item just gets purged off.
Do they have still... Oh, Puppey drops the Sentry Ward. He was actually looking to D-Ward out. Maybe he was looking for the aggression from Nyx Assassin. Sux has been missing for a while. But the Observer and Sentry were perfect. I think they even saw the secondary Sentry Ward, the Observer Ward that got placed.
Yeah, that's really nice. So there's a lot of mind games there. Saxa identifying that there's probably a ward on this high ground, just based on he saw the SD with a ward, now it's gone, he knows where it is. And also Puppey placing that sentry. It's always cool to place these ward sentry traps when you're playing against Nyx. You want to not necessarily have detection in fights, but more where is he? Place choke point double wards to ensure that you can track his movement through the woods.
They're looking towards top lane, mid one. My control's back far enough. And Zai doesn't really seem to be that interested in the fight. It's Nisha and Saxa who just trade a little bit of hits. In fact, Nisha going to waveform forward. Now Mind Control pull back in, and that was that combination we were waiting for. Actually missing a little bit on that torrent. So not exactly what they wanted, but it will not matter when YapzOr's there to land the extra stuns.
That's just
And Nisha
so
is still just going, he's going 1v2. He's been chasing Nyx for the last probably 30 seconds.
This is some trouble, but he should be fine here. A little low on mana. BBD trying to catch with the ultimate, but I don't think it's going to happen, or will it? Nisha?
Well, no one else is around him. The Shrine's not available for another 2 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's actually no
mid.
quick TP support either. Like both TPs for supports for Team Secret, one doesn't exist and the other's on cooldown. So Nisha is alone to fight on this bottom lane, and Saxa, oh boy. Alright.
Is under attack.
It's the first mistake I've seen Nisha make outside of the laning phase in a while. Just getting a little cocky there. Doesn't have vision, should know Nyx is in the area. I like the play from Secret though. They made this little harass move on the Huskar middle, threatened him, forced a TP from Peter, who now has to run all the way back to bottom, where he wanted to continue playing just to try and get some tower pressure back up his Terrorblade. YapzOr in the meantime just farming jungle. He'll be rushing the Blink Dagger, which in this game I agree with, because Zai, and this is what we see with Secret, the cores pick up the support style items. Enables Yap to buy what he wants.
YapzOr with the Midnight Pulse. He has the Malphite Stun now available, but here comes the jump in. That's a great Black Hole opportunity. As the Reaper side does not find the kill over on Conquer. In fact, Mind Control just pulled back into his own depth. The curse is out, and Zai is held in position. Ball and all.
Radiant's middle tower.
But they found the 2 kills the Team Secret really wanted to have. Mid one will be able to TP away to safety, away from the hunting Nyx Assassin.
And once again, it's on these 2 tanky cores of NiP. Necrophos, Mind Control's 0-4. His game is going to be utterly ruined if he isn't able to
Is under attack.
slap back with a couple kills coming up. But I mean, Ace's game is great. It's top net worth, but at the same time, Pangolier, Kunkka, Morph, like these heroes are very good matchups against you, and your illusions are going to have a very hard time surviving in a game like this.
NiP are potentially going to go, they're going to defend top. Here comes Winter Wyvern. Curse is not available, so Splinter Blast will just slow down the push. As Nyx Assassin still inside of Vendetta looking for more heroes to come forward, and PPD is very much alone. I don't know if this is part of the plan for NiP to try and get in and attack. Fada definitely wasn't doing that. He's looking to try and take out Ancient stacks, while Ace is adding pressure to the bottom lane. Zai just jumps over the top of him and actually looks for the kill. It's Ace's illusions hunting down Puppey.
I like those cool little plays from Secret. They're very good at pushing the envelope. Like, there's no need for Zai to do that. He's just trying to threaten and potentially force an NiP teleport in. There's no other reason for that, but it's just always good, just because you never know what sort of momentum you can get on the map from little maneuvers like that.
Sux has got some nice information on mid one. They've got very deep observer wards for NiP. Seeing across the Radiant jungle as well as seeing that northern side, so see both YapzOr and mid one
And
just farming around.
Zai already with 3 charges on a Spirit Vessel. That is such a huge item in a game like this. It crushes Necro and Huskar. And
Look
again,
at smoke.
ooh,
and Saxa breaks it instantly. So there's only one hero left inside the smoke, and that's Zai. But team, yeah, NiP, they see everything coming their way.
If you're Secret want to force fights. They have a blink, Enigma hole. They've got all their ults up. They constantly want to be able to find kills. And man, mind control, you do not want to be here. You know they're in the vicinity.
Well, but still, he's jumping in. Unless this is bait, Zai's going to jump forward. Winter's Curse is available for PPD, but then the jump forward and the hit back. Team Secret, this chain stunning onto mind control, executed perfectly. And then they split up, ensuring no Winter's Curse to mess up any kind of push from Team Secret. And Fada is still looking to fight. Yes, he doesn't have BKB, but he's still a very tanky Husker. With Armlet off, he has 1842.
I mean, Ace does kill the bottom tower. That little, yeah, he killed it during that engagement, but I just don't know if this is a TB game like we saw in the previous series. I don't believe Ace can just win the game single-handedly, and I'm concerned that if his BKB timing is a bit slow, like Nisha's Morphling just will beat him as the game progresses. You get the free meta, you get the reflection when you take over the morph with the morph, or sorry, the TB with the morph, and I think I said this already, but we're kind of sick of the Morph Terrorblade meta. But at the same time, you watch these heroes in games and you think to yourself, well, is there any other carry better? They just provide so much more than any other heroes in Dota right now.
And it seems so much you have to do to actually counter them as well. So once the hero pick comes, it's like, well, okay, well, we'll first face this. Spend the rest of your draft making sure you have an answer to us. But still, Terrorblade's having, like, Ace. As you said, like, maybe this isn't going to be his game, but he's on a good start for it. 8.8k, 8.9k is the net worth. Well ahead of all of the rest of Team Secret, even though Team Secret have 4 heroes in the 6.6k to 7k, and that's the Enigma, who's number 1. What a surprise. YapzOr finding a lot of money on the map. And this time, their smoke will not be instantly broken.
I like this smoke too because it's towards. They already have these deep wards placed in the enemy jungle. They're going to just run straight for them, and look what they find.
They're going to find Fada, the perfect hit. Pick him up, pull him back in again. He's got the armlet turned on, but that will not save Fada. There was not enough support coming his way quick enough. And Saxa's hoping for something else in return, but all he's seeing is Nisha. Does not have the damage to find the kill.
He's
so instead he's hunting the courier.
But look at Nisha, man. Hiding in the woods. What a player.
They know.
You know how hard it is to find somebody with that sort of awareness? I've never played with anyone that would hide a courier just based off Spidey senses.
Zai's in trouble. Ace gonna go into the Metamorphosis. Zai has enough life. He's actually just gonna Rolling Thunder and TP away to safety. Well away to safety, and the curse out in mid, Puppey. And he's actually gonna Reaper Scythe them. 1 minute on the sideline for the Team Secret captain. They would like to go for a little bit more.
YapzOr's here. He's got Blink.
And he does.
And once he has BKB as well, only the winner's curse will be able to interrupt that ultimate. And I like his decision because, again, he's top net worth #1. But look at the 4 heroes of Secret and how close they are. And the itemization, once again, is just so fluid. Zai enabling YapzOr to play this greedy style. He gets the Spirit Vessel, an item they desperately needed.
Mid one's trying to keep that pressure off the bottom lane. This is very much a repeat of what we saw earlier today, where the Terrorblade on this dice side just owns bottom jungle and continuously pressures towards the tier 2 tower, keeping one person down. I think the difference in this game, however, is mid one can just walk up and clean up the creep wave. Not with one hit just yet. He's not that strong.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And the timing is going to be the BKBs. They almost have one on the
courier. Sucks to get the hell out of there. They're already TPing SD over. Waveform up. Nisha's on the hunt. YapzOr comes over. Spike Carapace will end up triggering this onto YapzOr, but he's more of a thorn in the side.
Relatively even exchange because they got the Lincolns on the morph. He would have been very sad if that was gone for 3 minutes. That's such a critical item in a game like this. 3 wards on Puppey, a couple of sentries. Now they're going to look to address the map, set up for Roche.
Well, Nisha's already in. And if they're even setting up fully for it, the Observer Ward from NiP saw it all happen, so Even if Morphling feels confident about this one, Nyx Assassin's back up in 1 second time. The smoke is out from NiP, and they do not find the opening they want. In fact, Team Secret pulling out of the pit.
They also don't find the Observer ward. That sentry just missing the ward placed by Peter, who put it about 300 units further north than you would expect, and that evades the sentry.
I think Fada really wants to come into this fight just yet. He's 200 gold away from having the BKB. So just a little bit extra time for the Huskar up on top, and he'll have what he wants. Meanwhile, on bottom, looks like Ace going to go after Puppey, and Reflection and Illusions chasing him into the tree lines, but with YapzOr moving over. Blinks forward, doesn't find the target he's looking for, but Puppey will still die in the trees. Could not escape the Illusions.
YapzOr hesitated for a couple moments, or he would have found the Terrorblade for sure. He wasn't sure which one was real, and by the time he realized Ace was on the retreat, just out of range. And it's the benefit, once again, of this move speed build. We saw Butterfly Sange and Yasha last game. This time Ace going drums.
That's a real
Yasha.
nice by Carapace. The swashbuckle from Zai, but here comes YapzOr, but the cursed PPD in the right position. YapzOr is held there, and maybe with a stun in his own BKB, they can walk it out as Xmark, Spot, Torrent, and Rolling Thunder. They're all coming forward, right on top of the Nyx Assassin as Nisha waveforms forward to get the kill onto Nyx. Mind control, he's got a little bit more life thanks to the Ghost Shroud towards the one charges. He's healing up pretty quickly, and he's got extra help. Fada jumping forward with that fresh BKB of his. He's there, ready to fight the Nisha. He's just so strong. The double kill for him already. Fada can't even stay close. The Xmark Spot keeps pulling him back and forward. Catch it up, fearful of the amount of damage that Team Secret can output.
That Winter's Curse actually got the scythe damage. It was a bit too early, so Pangolier not only survives, but now all of a sudden he's able to roll forwards and get what felt like 8 stuns off in the fight.
Just never-ending control. A double damage rune as well for the Morphling.
They do preserve the BKBs, though. Both Huskar and Terrorblade with 10 seconds. And those are critical. You need to try and win a couple fights while these BKBs still have those big timers, because it makes Kunkka, Pango, these heroes don't do any damage anymore.
Well, Nietzsche's going to go in for Roshan with that double damage rune. He feels very confident to do so.
There's no black hole, though.
No, they do not. No Rolling Thunder just yet. Ghost Shift is back up, as here comes the rest of NiP. Mind Control just jumps straight inside the pit, looking for his own target. No Reaper Scythe available. Zai, Rolling Thunder's forward, manages to split Ace as well as Mind Control, but it's Fada, who is in so deep. It ended up being a 1-for-1 trade-off. He couldn't get back out again, but the waveform Mind Control, so much damage. X marks the spot into the torrent. The control will just sustain through all the duration of the Ghost Shroud. And NiP now with 2 heroes down cannot stop Roshan from happening.
That was, so I praised him the first time saving the BKB, but now Fada's taken 2 straight fights without BKBing. Like, if you're going to play this Huskar and you're leaping in, you need to be BKBing at the same time. He got disrupted. Well, he wasn't peeled off by a purge. He just straight up got disrupted in the face and then died. Like, I actually don't even know how this is possible.
Let's have another look at it again.
You can see him initiate. Puppey should die here. You should be BKBing. Instead, he's going to catch the disruption, and I believe Morph with the DD just kills him. Because now he's BKB, but he's not only hit by Morph and Purge, so he's got no move speed, he can't leap away, and he's standing in the Midnight Pulse. You got a BKB there.
Well, it's going to hurt him. No doubt about that.
That gives away Roche.
Gives away Roshan. And it's onto the defense. I would say that while Nisha has the Aegis Immortal, like, you know he wants to try and fight, and that's what they're doing. Down towards the bottom lane, it was NiP almost looking for this fight. PPD has the Winter's Curse available, but now Saksa needs to run away. 2 seconds till Spike Carapace, and that's 2 seconds too long. Winter Wyvern will complete the TP before Nisha is able to waveform forward and find him.
But I got a question, then. Will NiP actually be able to deal damage at a certain point? Zai is going to go for the Crimson Guard, and I imagine Greaves will be soon after. No one on NiP can really buy these teamfight items, and you're going to reach a point where Zai represents like plus 1,000 to 1,500 HP to his entire team, and your supports are just going to feed on the side of NiP. Huskar and Necro have a real hard time starting to deal damage. I mean, my control
disruption off. Nietzsche's not going to go in, and it's also just an illusion, hence they're not really trying to force it. It's the bottom lane that they're really going for. PPD with his own little Tinker Ward on the hill. Sees Zai come in nice and close. And here comes Huskar as well. They would love to just get that straight out jump over towards Zai. Nisha is low, but here goes Zai into the Rolling Thunder. He hits through the Winter Wyvern, bouncing off the walls, and PPD, at least he'll avoid the torrent. That's his upside for him. A swashbuckle away for Zai gets him into a safety zone, but the BKB burned from Terrorblade now onto cooldown. Saxa does not get pulled back into a stun. Instead, it's going to be mid one. He'll just connect and hit into Ace. He's got another hit, and you know Nisha wants to find these kills of his own. With all these trees gone, he's got the vision down the side to keep battling up against NiP. They're fighting even outside the tier 2 tower. Another pullback onto Saxa. He does have the Spike Harris, but can't get it off in time as Yapzor just jumps forward. Fada, BKB, they're just trying to bait out these defensive items before they even go for the big fights.
They're playing this fight so well. They blew everything. They forced double BKB. They got Sunder. They got Meta. They're all like, they don't care. And NiP just has such a hard time playing into Secret's lineup because they have so much peel. You don't have any real catch. You have Huskar, TB, Necro. Where are your stuns? Who's actually able to go in and keep a fight going when you have a Pango and a Morphling that can just get away at any time? The other target's a Kunkka with BKB armlet. It's just not feasible.
They're chasing Saxa. They don't have the continued vision. I don't think that was the Rolling Thunder he really thought he was going to have.
And you can't fight into Secret's lineup anymore. Sure, your Terrorblade's an item ahead, but it doesn't matter. It's not relevant when you consider how Secret occupies 4 out of the top 5 networks. No one dies. You can't get on top of Puppey. You don't have any heroes capable of doing so long as there's a sentry down. And there's a threat of a BKB black hole at all times as well.
Yep. And that's where PPD just cannot burn the Winter's Curse. Like, he needs to wait for Yapzor to go in for that blink black hole. And you could see him almost trying to bait out the curse by blinking forward so aggressively, like he was going to go for the black hole, and then nothing happened.
Secret have no intention of blowing their spells early. They just want to ensure NiP can't take that decisive engagement where Secret, like if Secret initiates, it's really the only way they lose is if they hard commit a black hole with BKB up, gets Wyvern ulted, there's 3 heroes there.
Yeah.
Lots of trouble all of a sudden. But they just want to make NiP use their cooldowns first, stay alive, and you can see Kunkka going for a Halberd next. I again just think it's the name of the game for Secret is damage reduction, which is a concept they've abused to win both the PvP LAN in Singapore along with ESL Hamburg. And this is how they win a lot of their games, just maximizing their team's efficiency in both damage output and reduction. And you just sort of throw up your hands at a point and you think, how the hell do we kill anybody?
It's a very good question. I'm sure NiP will try and answer it pretty soon. Observers, sentries, that sentry will see the dire orbs. That was a fresh one down as well. But NiP, they'll throw down their own sentry orb, but it's fine. Nisha will clean that up. No problems whatsoever. Zai feels very much like bait coming in for the room, but PPD, what do you want to do? They don't see up the hill. They lost their observer ward. They needed to have that vision in order to have the information required to take the fight. They didn't know how much of Team Secret was behind.
Another really, again, the little things they do so well. Nisha went for Linken's this game, and Yapzor is going to get one as well. And at a certain point, first off, that means Enigma will no longer be interruptible. Wyvern cannot proc Linken's and get the ultimate. And you're also going to give the ability to double Linken's Nisha as he walks high ground. How do you sunder him now? How do you actually break Linken's? How do you...
Yeah,
like, look at all the single target spells.
Do you even have like enough items that would even break that?
Yeah.
I'm not even seeing a 4-star, no Hurricane Pike.
The only thing
Necro went full defensive.
Yeah, they literally have Mana Burn and Huskar ult, Necro ult, TB ult, Wyvern ult.
That's a lot of abilities you do not want to burn on just a Linken's.
Correct. And this is it. I mean, they have Crimson Guard. Nisha's really farmed, and you start pushing a bit with the Shadow Demon Illusions as well. Another mechanic that Secret's infusing.
And they even dodge the Splinter Blast. Like, that's meant to be the counter push for NiP. X marks the spot, manages to pick up over on Ace. Hitting nice and hard, but then again, Fada does manage to catch out Puppey, has to BKB and run away. Nisha does also burn his Metamorphosis. So a small trade-off. Kind of feels like NiP came out on top, but do they want more? Next Assassin's already on the hunt. He's going to find his target. It's going to be Zai. And they find the stun. They find the control. The Reaper's sight. The Linken Sphere tries to block it. Zai gets the distance away. They didn't do enough damage, and now Yapzor opens up with the black hole. He's already found the kill over on the Necro, but Ace moving forward on this Terrorblade. He wants to kill off mid one. Very little damage from him as Ace swaps the life. Saxa stays alive for the moment, but not that moment is gone. Nisha just jumps forward, and when the X marks the spot, Ace pulled back. He's one more hit away from death, but they can't reach him. Nisha will still have himself a triple kill. It is just his day as a Morphling. Saxa wants to kill off mid one, but the cold embrace, it is there. Saxa, no way to survive. Nisha is just way too good and way too everybody.
Did you see that? He still had the TB meta, right? Killing everybody. Tries to swap to Wyvern to get that lasted off on TP. If he landed that, it would have been a rampage and probably the play, maybe not of the tournament, but it would have at least the day. Like, this guy is nuts. And there's the Morpher's TB factor. Not only do you get the meta, you have reflection spam as well. Morph should not be able to attack from that far away.
Oh, they should jump in, Yamso.
No BKB?
They got the X marks the spot, combining with both Torrent and Ship. You'll have to BKB once again from Fada. Down to a 6-second duration on his BKB. It's 7 seconds on the Terrorblade.
That came up like a hair before he would have died. I did not expect that X to... But I mean, he doesn't know that Fada's BKB is not going to be able to save him if he X's him back a little early. And game's looking grim.
Well, let's have another quick look at this one. So Saxa gets the setup they're looking for, but this Reaper's Scythe, a quick Lincoln Sphere protection, but Zai gets himself further away. So he already took the damage, but this follow-up.
Look at this from Nisha. It is so smooth. He's going to continue just chase the Wyvern, and then this play at the end is what's just really fun to watch. They get the nice thunder off on Zai. They're able to take him out. But look at how far he's attacking from. He finishes off the Nyx. He's hitting the TB. Ace tries to man to dodge the X, which is really cool, and just not in time with the winner's blast chill thing, whatever it's called.
Yep. That range from the Arctic Burn is that's what was letting him hit from such insane range.
Does that stack with meta? That's something I have to test.
Test away and give us an answer, but all I know is that this Morphling was well out of harm's way. PPD has to Cold Embrace to protect himself as he gets hit by practically every magical damage piece they've got, and down he goes. Buyback is available for PPD, and he will need to do it. They need their Winter's Curse to defend this high ground, to not let that melee rush go. With the X mark spot over on Ace, they're just trying to get the BKBs out. As the two heroes, they're trying to bait the BKBs on. They got caught inside that torrent.
It's so cool the way Secret plays this as well. Like, their whole draft can lay down these areas that you don't want to be in anymore, and they literally X that spot, bring somebody back into it, and they're dead. You've got a Midnight Pulse, the Torrent, Pango, Shadow Demon spam, and you always have the threat of the Morph thing as well. Like, you just can't survive if you're a support and you're caught by an X. There's nothing you can do. Nyx, Saxa looking to set up here, but there's a gem on somebody.
Yeah, Zai.
Pango.
It's Zai, and it's actually the stolen one as well. That's the one PPD bought and he dropped during the last engagement. Saxa is just doing the best he can to stay away. Like, he saw where the Pango was. Now they'll find YapzOr at the 35-minute runes. But there's no follow-up to this. There's no one that can get close enough. And every single rune bar one. Like, okay, yeah, sure.
You know another reason Pangolier owns Terrorblade? Your Heart Piercer removes all of his armor.
Fada's in trouble. BKBs begins the TP. Black Hole! Oh, cancel the TP out. Fada thought he was secure, but he's dead for a minute and then looking for more. The Rolling Thunder forward from Zai, trying to catch up towards the Terrorblade. He's able to do so. No, falls just a little bit short.
It's Arcane Rune, though, so it's 40 seconds, and that ultimate's going to be right back up again.
And they can just go for Roshan. No Huskar up for a minute, and Roshan's alive.
They still have their mid-tower, and like Secret's under no threat in this game whatsoever. The only towers they seeded are the two least important for their side.
Oh, mind control. Observer and Sentry was planted a long time ago by Team Secret. We're now having that fight up on top. And, well, they're just going to keep going into mind control. Pushing out the lane, allowing Nisha to attack. Good curse, a Shadow Demon, dropping down low, mid one. He's not going to finish the job. Support was there from YapzOr. I'll glimmer him up, give him some protection. It's actually Zai popping off the Crimson Guard, slowing down that damage of mid one.
And they're taking TB Illusions now with the Shadow Demon as well.
Nisha's just taking top right. That's what they're really taking. Lincoln Sphere up. He's just going to change quickly. Look for the pop damage into mind control. Red one's got ship ready to roll. That's not connect over on the torrent.
He's saving the meta to pop. No, he doesn't use it though. Okay. I thought he was going to save, pop meta like the very end, and look for more spells.
For now, they just are very happy to keep the status quo. 12k is the gold advantage up for Team Secret. They got to feel very happy. 18k in the experience too. And they found a target. In towards the mid. A quick Malfa Sun off. Fada, BKBs wants to fight with a Reaper's Sight. Down goes Enigma. That's a huge streak to end over on Yapsaw, but what's going to be the collateral? It's BPD to start with. Nisha is beyond, well beyond godlike, and now they have to turn their attention towards the Terrorblade. He's holding his ground. Sunder is still available, but now Nisha, he'll just turn into the Terrorblade as well, beating in towards Ace. He swaps the life with actually Saksa, and that allows Zai to jump further forward. Spike Carapace not able to actually trigger and hurt Zai as he jumped up.
He was halberded for 5 out of that 7-second BKB. I mean, just near flawless play from Secret. Nisha knows he can play that aggressively because he's got a Linken's, and you can see how afraid Ace has to play. He's sundering defensively on his own ally constantly because he knows that he's going to get screwed by a Linken's and die if he tries to do so with the turnaround.
Man, what's really stronger? The reflection he pops over onto Nisha or the SD disruption, and now just has Puppey turning Ace onto himself. Nisha will still stand his ground strong, even without the BKB, even without the Manta, and even without mana. They got the melee racks in mid. Top is still alive, but once again, Secret will just back off, reset. They can TP him back to base, and then just X marks to spot him. So, like, here we go again. A quick regeneration for Nisha.
Oh. I feel like, you know that meme where it's like you're playing against Alliance? You do not ban Fury in Alliance first picks Fury.
Uh-huh. Is it the Morphling thing?
I think
like, why do you not ban Morphling in the first 3?
I don't know how to beat this hero. I especially don't know how to beat Nisha when he's on it. It feels like it just makes the game easy for Secret. They all know how to play. Everything they're doing works. Their itemization, the way they approach skirmishes, team fights, even the way they retreat.
Well, this might be the best opportunity they've had in a while, but no, they can't actually stun Zai in time. Roshan is dropping down low, 3.2k as Zai. Oh, there's the curse. That's going to be a quick hit, and the follow-up double stun from Saksa. So Puppey will go down, he's buying back and going to TP out as quick as he can, and she's going to walk the whole way. But Nisha, he doesn't care, he's going after Fada, but the jump forward, Nisha maybe in a little bit too deep.
Oh!
And Yapsaw! There's your 3-man hole! Zai to follow up, the damage is coming in mid one. They can't do enough! Ace is able to sunder, and they're going to bring down Yapsaw. It looked good, but it didn't have any bite to it from Team Secret. They buy back over on Nisha. Zai is cleaning up the back lines. They would love a little bit more, and with the X marks the spot, Saksa, Puppey would like to try and get a little bit more. The follow-up sun's there, but Zai, man, he is king of the castle at the moment. And
Why
Nisha,
is still here?
Okay, he's the real dirty rascal, chasing after Ace, rolling boulder. That's going to be enough just to kick through and get that kill onto Ace. They just lose one after the other. You think NiP are on the board, are able to find these kills, dodging the big abilities, dodging the black hole, but NiP, they're all dead.
Why are they still there? They saw everybody buy back, and the heroes alive are Kunkka Pango. They're going to continue to pursue. They just get caught. With no BKBs, Kunkka all of a sudden becomes uncontrollable catch and just lands X after X after X. Like, he's got to be one of the most successful pirates I've seen since Long John Silver.
Let's have a look at it again. So Zai,
They get a little too
jump up.
aggressive.
He just stuns over on 3. Now PPD, you think this is the good moment. No SD mess up. There's the double stun from the Nyx Assassin. But where did it go wrong?
The buyback's number one, but also, I mean, Secret shouldn't be playing that offensively. They're more trying to counter-initiate. This is a great black hole from Yapsaw. It just doesn't save Nisha. The problem is, NiP sticks around without BKBs.
Yep.
And Wyvern's dead. As soon as he gets that Sunder off, I think Ace just has to flee. And we've seen this time and time again, where a team, yeah, you lose a few, but you buy back,
back
get
live.
the turnaround.
Puppey, he's underneath the sentry ward. That's why Fada jumps forward. They want that die back on him. The stun, it does connect over towards Nisha. But now Nisha, he's dropping down very, very low, but he's got the Aegis Immortal and the cheese to work with. He doesn't really care. He just moves further forward. Puppey can go down. Ace, how much damage have you got? They need to try and crack something But so far, even Saxa with these double stuns, they just can't find their opening. Instead, it's going to be the Terrorblade. He has the Sunder available and the Curse. It's good. It's over on Kunkka, but Nisha's not doing anywhere near enough damage. And Mind Control, he actually switched the lives. The Reaper's Sight will come down. Kunkka's dead for 140 seconds. That gives him some time to think. And Nisha, maybe too deep, but then again, maybe he's Nisha. He is so damn hard to kill. Waveform in 1 second time. This will give him some distance, or he'll let the Aegis, the Immortal, break to switch the cheese in. Mind Control wants to help out to try and find this kill. Reflection, everything you've got. YapzOr gets the black hole over on Ace, or does he? Yes, he does. 2 minutes on the sideline, thanks to the dieback. No help was available from PPD because the Winter's Curse was still on cooldown, and he'll actually die as he walks back underneath the towers. It's YapzOr with the double kill, and they're looking for a little bit more. Maybe Mind Control can hold the lines. Zai is trying to run away. PPD will buy back, so they lose 2 full lanes of racks. And NiP claim a couple of kills, but it's still a very costly fight.
And again, Secret getting a little ambitious. I think if they play a bit more conservative, YapzOr didn't have ultimate as that fight started. When the black hole's up, they're no longer defeatable, but just a little antsy to end the game. I think they went for tier 4s. They were like, maybe we just turn for the racks instead, but they lose a bit of their positioning window due to it. They're still in a great spot for the top 5 net worths. I think if you want, you could wait for next Roche, but I think it's more likely Secret look to make a smoke move after the Scotty pickup on Nisha and try and kill Ace again to close it out.
YapzOr's kind of waiting for an opportunity to... I am not certain to do what. Like, just letting these conversions kill off the shrine. Saxa will do whatever he can to stop it, but... Yeah, those conversions have the plus 70 idle on damage, so they can do that quite easily themselves. And that's what he was waiting for, just to create new set.
Dude, and look at the item we've got on YapzOr.
Yeah, he actually bought it.
Yeah.
And then he sold it. And then he bought it again. Like, he bought it before the fight, and then he sold it. So there was some level of indecision, but it's a refresher roll for the Enigma.
Yeah. It's never bad when they can't cancel your black hole anymore. It's just so good.
Or you just do it twice over with the immunity both times as well.
This is one of the every hero that's good, or rather every hero that is a GPM talent at level 10 or 15 seems to be good. And when you combine the crazy kit of Enigma with a 150 GPM talent at level 15, it's bonkers. There's a reason this hero is going to be first picked or banned pretty much every game in this tournament.
We also thought Phoenix was going to get a little bit more of a traction in this tournament, and so far, everyone's gone a different angle.
You can kill the egg, you can't kill the entropy of a black hole.
Team Secret are grouping up on bottom. They got 1 lane left to crush before they get the megas up and running. And it will be a hell of a lot of work for NiP to hold the line.
And this is just easy, methodical games. They've got the Scotty, and now it's go time. You have the Aeon Disc on Puppey. All of the cores have 3,000 HP.
The only thing they don't have this time around is that Aegis and Cheese, which did allow Nisha just to extend the fight. PPD is looking for the cursed target, but when they X-mark spot him BKB, like, there's just nothing to gain. There's nothing to do. Like, they cannot stop Nisha, and even if they start on Nisha, he's just going to get pulled back to safety.
Yeah, they back up for the bounty runes, but I mean, how cool is that? Like, that was a tier 3 through Crimson Guard in the duration of a BKB. And it's now very difficult for NiP to defend high ground. Secret, again, no pressure. Roche spawns in 3 to 6 minutes. They might look to end, but they can also just keep controlling the map. They've taken out both shrines, and NiP is thoroughly sealed in their base.
Saxa, at least he has that gem of PPD back. That was the one thing they were able to regain, but no, I suppose, actually, is that the one they regained? Yeah, because Zaya's got his one back again. So either side, they have vision, they have anti-vision to play with.
They're doing a good job of sweeping the map together, where they clear both lanes, they clear the jungle, and no one's ever out of reach of their allies, because you invite a fight if you're Secret, if NiP want to give it to them, but they have no need to invade the high ground just yet.
Oh, YapzOr, he's going in way!
Oh, did BKB?
He black hole for that one, and now PPD's coming over. They got extra help. Remember, he has the refresher. The Reaper Sight does not find the kill, but the damage remains. That will. So no Enigma for the moment. He has buyback available as now Nisha comes into the fight as that Morphling, well as everybody. And the buyback's there from Enigma. He's deeping over towards the Shrine with a double torrent and control, mind control. Oh! Mid one! Slice him, dice him, and serve him up for dinner. NiP, you're on the menu.
Man, and Nisha gets so much love from us the entire game. You forget that they've got the first or second player to hit 10 KLMajor on the mid. And that's it.
Oh
There's no
God.
buyback TB. No buyback Necro. Game over, folks.
Yeah, they're coming in. Game one looks to be going the way of Team Secret.
Halberd.
Husker jumps forward, but yep, he's just disarmed. And mid one beats him down. One more hit will do it. He hasn't got him just yet. Now he has, but yeah, bottom tower is gone. 3 heroes on the sideline. And this game, it belongs to Team Secret. Even with the curse out, no one's close enough to Yapsol for him to die. Team Secret 1-0 against NiP, and one victory away from securing that upper bracket position at the KLMajor.
I love watching Secret play, man. They're
It's
so
smooth.
good. They do all the things that you need to win games at this level. They've got incredible individual talent. They lane well. Their draft complements itself. Their item choice is good. They have cores they can rely upon. It's just so smooth.
Yep.
It's so much fun to watch, and you can see like the different concepts in the way both teams draft. Secret's open, exploits win conditions, like kind of it's a fluid draft. NiP comes in with a plan. They try to cheese you a bit, but Secret's got this.
Yeah, they've got this from so many different angles too. Like we were saying during the first series, like the amount of pressure that Puppey and Yapsor apply. The fact that Yapsor, they were able to identify that he gets nothing on top and that he was #1 net worth for Team Secret. He ended up being 11-3-19 on this Enigma. And the primary thing he was there for to help them win the game was that big black hole. And it was great control at the right time. But my God, Nisha is a beast. I'm fairly certain the panel's going to agree.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you're right as well. Nisha is a beast. He's already shown us in the previous series what a beast he is, and he continues to do so now. Perhaps a bannable hero in the next game as far as NiP are concerned. Our 3 panel members are all back here. There was a split decision between you gents before we went into this. When you watch it back afterwards, though, you're kind of like, yeah, that kind of looks pretty good.
Shouldn't have doubted. The promo code BSJ.
I was letting the incorrect people talk first while I got to sit in my correct corner over here.
You have speaking rights here.
No, you're the only one allowed to talk from now on.
Nice. I usually talk too much anyways, so I feel like when I watch Tier 1 Dota, it's so much more relaxing because
Really?
I can just the
As
teams are going to
opposed
do what
to
they're
you
supposed to do.
playing
Besides
Tier
watching
2
myself
Dota?
play, you know, like it's just, all the stuff they do is so predictable because like they have their heroes that like they're just going to play them correctly. I mean, Kyle was mentioning that Secret just does all of the right things, and I just
It's so
watch
much
the game
easier
play
in these
out.
chairs, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
and
so much easier.
I'm like, I know what they're supposed to do, and it's like they're now doing it while they're playing Dota, like thinking about a bajillion things going on in the game. That's like the impressive part. And I just see these heroes, these Huskar, these Necro, which against like Shadow Neem and Enigma, a Pango, you're just never going to be able to itemize not to die. So the only way you can win is by like snowballing the early leads such that they can't kill you even if they have the natural counters to your heroes. And you saw Secret's early game plan was just, we're going to 4-man gank this Necro like 3 times, slow him down.
Oh God, he had a miserable game, didn't he?
And then he's just a Necro against Shadow Demon, and you can't buy any items to live through his ult, so you're just going to die all game.
I think there was a moment around Roche, we were watching at the same point, and he was just like, it's kind of alive, but it wasn't doing anything, and then it was kind of, we'll just kill him now.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks.
No, like I saw it in the draft too, like with that last big Huskar. Like first I was talking, like I'm like, yeah, Secret, like they can't do any moves right.
You took yourself out of this,
exactly,
didn't you?
yeah. And then I switched at the end. Like Gauss was like, yeah, I think I'm like,
no,
yeah, Huskar in lane, yeah, that's gonna be a stomp.
Johan,
and then something's gonna happen, and then NiP are gonna win. But
Johan, you've learned early on the panel. If in doubt, blame gods.
Yeah.
It's what we all do.
yeah, that's it. No, they really needed a Storm or Ember. They needed something to do something. Because that was the problem with their lineup. It's kind of just sitting there. Like, the Necro is just sitting down there. They can come kill him whenever they want. Huskar is sitting somewhere. They can just go kill him. And then, obviously, the Terrorblade got very fun. They didn't try to shut him down, but like, it was Terrorblade versus the world. Yeah.
And we came up with I don't know if you guys, I think you were getting lunch at the time. BSJ and I came up with a new, this is the 1 Protects 4.
Yes. Or the 1-2-3 protects 4, however you want to look at it.
Because at one point they had 4, they literally looked like they had 4 cores on Secret. They were within 200 gold of each other at 7k net worth. Like, what are you all doing?
Yeah,
And Yapsel was ahead on net worth. I mean, that's an insane setup.
Yep.
I just look at these drafts and you early pick the Morphling and the Terrorblade. Both are kind of like the win conditions of your team. And then one hero has this Pangolier, Enigma, Shadow Demon, and the other hero has a Huskar and a Necro. And these heroes don't enable the Terrorblade at all. So even though Terrorblade's like #1 net worth, it's just, it pales in comparison to a Morphling who is enabled by all these heroes. And also, you have the Pangolier who just itemized to counter the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
So
take all his armor away.
So you just, even though he's #1 net worth, it's like that's not how it.
Well, they seemed to just leave him alone, didn't they? When they had those mini team fights, they would pick off one, they'd pick off the Necro, for instance, and then pick off another one, and then they just back away. It's like the TB's just, well, all right, I'll carry on farming then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TB would always like move over towards the fight, show up with meta BKB, and then they'd be like, okay, let's just back off.
No,
That's disappointing
it looks so. Yeah, he comes in. He's really farmed, right? Like if he gets the hit, but
he was 15k net worth when everyone else was 10k.
Yeah, but his lineup is like, you know, they don't really stun anything.
Yep.
They're kind of, they do whatever they want, and he's just there.
Scoreboard on the screen to confirm the victory for Team Secret. Their 3rd consecutive victory here at the Kuala Lumpur Major already. I think Nisha is starting to put his name firmly in the picture for the MVP of the tournament. We're only on day 1 of 11.
Yeah, Paul, that's come on, man. Relax. Half the teams haven't even played yet, Paul. Like we've only seen 3 different teams on the mainstream.
But he's had 3 incredible games already.
We've watched 3 of 16 teams.
All right. He's an early stake. That's all I said. An early stake for MVP.
Yeah.
Definitely putting his claims in there. But Yaps are also having a great game in that game.
Yeah, for sure. Very happy. It's so easy to play Dota when you're winning and have this confidence. They've won 2 lands in a row. You know, a new young player in the team is going to have full belief in himself to make all the right moves, make all the right plays, and just.
And they really seem to know how to like get his heroes to work. Like they're just first doing this Morphling, and he gets a game every game.
Bannable now, isn't it?
I guess.
Well,
Which lane did he went safe lane, right?
He had a rough laning stage, and like they're pressuring him. But we saw, if you watch the laning stage, he just morphs down to 0 health and then morphs back up. He didn't even ferry himself any regen. So Morphling's base health is like 350. So all you have to do is morph all the way down to 0 and then morph back up, and you're missing 350 health. And even though they're pressuring him, he still had like 10 more CS than the Terrorblade. He was like higher net worth or higher level, I mean. And I just feel like you have to ban this hero against this guy if you're going to pick a carry that is innately countered.
Or they need to have a plan, because you know, like he's not gonna go offlane with the morph, right? So then you need to have you need to know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the gyros, the Terrorblades, these heroes are countered by Morphling. So if you're gonna pick them, at least get the Morphling out.
I mean, even getting like a first 2 pick on the Lina, because you can flex Lina into a support role or like a 3 or 4 or something. So
that's another idea.
Getting an answer to the Morphling.
Okay, let's check in with the standings and show you where we are right now. In terms of the 2 groups that are going on simultaneously, this is Group B and how it stands right now. Evil Genius is coming through 2-1 against Aston. Vici coming through again against TNC, despite the fact that seems a ridiculous scoreline of 2-0, because I can tell you, TNC were 15k up in that first game and somehow have ended up losing 2-0. Typical SEA Dota, I think someone said. I can't remember who that might have been. Gods actually said that. I'm just going to throw Gods under the SEA bus.
TNC took racks in both games.
Oh.
And they still lost both games.
Absolutely insane. So that's Group B, how it stands right now. Obviously in Group A, we're in the winners game. I don't want to say that this is over already, but it's a good start for Secret. And now NiP have got lots of questions now.
I think NiP made a big drafting mistake though in the last
Do you?
Yeah.
In what way?
I think if they just needed a hero that can move and do something. Like it ends up, this is a lot of these Secret games. Like mid one gets a losing matchup mid, but his hero can actually use, like it has spells, like he can move around and kill people. And the other guy's like, he's just sitting mid there. That's what happened this game too.
Was the Necro not a bigger mispick maybe?
I thought
I think the Necro was bad, but they had an idea with it, right? Like they wanted to get the Nyx working, and the Nyx was actually like a brilliant pick. Like I didn't even think of it. Like it shut down, like you said, Zeus and Tinker. So like that, I think that was fine. Like I think if they end up with a Storm or an Ember, like something that can run around, like I think the game will be very different.
All right, well, we'll have to see if they do exactly that in game number 2, which is what's coming up after the break. Don't go too far away. Secret on the verge, are they, of cleaning up in Group A? We'll find out shortly. A very warm welcome back to Malaysia for live coverage of the Kuala Lumpur Major, the first one of a brand new season. And we're well underway in Group A as we watch Team Secret just basically brush aside everything and anything in their path. Can they continue to do so in game number 2 of the upper bracket final against NiP? We'll find out very shortly as we head towards the draft, but our 3 members are back on the panel once more. We've got Pylai, Dai, BSJ and Gods alongside. We sort of started talking about what NiP might be able to do in game 2, but we haven't really spoken about what Secret might do in game 2. Do they change things up? Do they stick to the winning formula? I mean, it seems like, I think both Toby and Kyle said at the end of the last game, they've kind of got an answer for everything. They've got the players, they've got the style, they've got the meta, they've got the draft. How do you beat them?
I feel like their openings are really predictable on Secret, but like they always pick like the Enigmas and the Morphlings, these type of comfort zone heroes, the Axes. But I feel like I want them to prove that they can have Nisha carry the game on not Morphling or Terrorblade. I feel like if I'm NiP, that's what I would want to do, because at this point,
so how would you do that then? Would you? Do you know his first pick now? Like
ban Morphling, TB, PL.
I'm saying you either ban or pick one of them. Like you want Morphling, Terrorblade generally, anyways. Yeah. So like whatever one you'd rather pick, you pick that and then ban the other.
But it's as you say though, like they're kind of like every team is kind of predictable in the opening, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time. So you'd have to figure out a counter. I actually did like NiP's lineup quite a bit last game. I just don't like the Huskar, and I still thought they could win, right? Like I did predict NiP. So
yeah, but that was Gods' fault. We already established that was...
I mean, it definitely pushed me.
He did.
He pushed me over the cliff, as they say.
What I said was easy to do.
I just held your hand, we were both walking on our own accord there.
Holding his hand on the way down?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the last game we didn't see, the hero we didn't see was Phoenix. So I'm curious, like what they're going to do with that hero. They picked Wyvern instead of Enigma, which is fine, I guess.
So they already got rid of Enigma. That's like step 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotten rid of the Axe, which we know is one of those flexi picks for Secret as well.
And they have the response pick on NiP this time. So like they've got first pick. So they've like last game that Morphling was the second pick for Team Secret, and I feel like that's a really powerful pick whenever you're first pick. So I feel like it's easier to plan around these heroes because you can give them Morphling and then have a counter or something like that lined up. But like if you get the Morphling and so they do ban the Morphling. Thank you. I feel like that's just. Let them have Terrorblade, then you can pick PL, that kind of thing. So they go for the Weaver. I feel like they're almost certainly going to pick Terrorblade.
I mean,
didn't you guys want to see? This is what you guys did not want to see, like no Morphling
right?
TB.
I think you just picked that Terrorblade.
Yeah, and then you have to respond, I think, with PL, unless you put Weaver safely.
You were saying that you want to see NiP force Nisha onto a different hero, but I guess they haven't done that, assuming they pick TB.
I think they should be picking a stunner. There we go. I think someone talked to me about that. This apparently is quite a strong combo. Oh, that was fast.
There's the PL straight back.
Yeah, that's the only carry response pick to Terrorblade.
But at the same time, like it's not that hype, right? Like to me, when I see like you insta pick this PL to counter, like obviously they read this, like this is what they thought was gonna happen. But at the same time, like that's. For me, it's not like, oh my god, they got him.
I feel like it's the only carry that isn't bad against PL, or bad against Terrorblade, though. Yeah. It's not like great, it's just not bad. Which, like, why would you pick your carry any later in the draft if you know the hero's not going to be good against their carry? So
the difference between these heroes in lane, though, is like Terrorblade needs to hit like level 3 or 4 and have a couple of Wraith Bands. PL needs 6 until they can like get out of there.
Yeah.
Like you can shut down a PL like quite hard.
I like to lane the PL against the Terrorblade generally because you if you pick like a nuker, like a CM or something, like a ranged nuker, and then you lance, like you buy like 2 mangoes on PL and you lance him twice during his meta and you nuke him, he actually can't like CS level 1. Then you get off to an advantage. That's what I think a lot of teams have been doing because
this silencer is a problem though, right? If you want to do some spamming.
That is true. I just feel like if you put, like you said, if both heroes have a slow start, Terrorblade will start jungling early. So I'd rather like the PL start be a slightly stunted in order to take down the Terrorblade start.
Oh. I can see that.
Okay. Yep, so Shaker's gone. Lena's gone too.
I guess teams aren't really picking this tinier Phoenix anymore. I wonder.
And they really were.
They were,
just a few days ago. It's like, did the meta just change like overnight? Was there a patch we missed? Yeah, I mean, it was literally those two are amongst the most popular opening two.
Yeah. You said
the whole
Tiny was most picked band at the minor.
It was
I
most big
imagine
band, and
Phoenix,
Phoenix was second.
I was about to say, was top
Yes.
3 or so, and it's second. There we go.
And then there's a combo they were selected as well. You know, there's like a lot of data on that meta from literally a week ago that all worked.
Yeah.
These were winning drafts.
I mean, I also think for teams like Secret, they're not teams you're going to be looking to necessarily take stuff from.
Yeah.
They're teams that are going to be going for safer, easier to execute strats just because they don't have they're not on the same level as
Yeah.
Team Secret.
I mean, both teams now are looking for stuns for sure. Both need either any type of stuns, AoE stuns, single. So like, and I guess Legion is like decent versus both these, so we might see a Legion. But I still like Tiny is just one of these. I think both teams should be looking at
Stuns, they also neither team has any good way to clear out illusions or creep waves right now. Like those kind of heroes you'd want to see just be able to, negate all the PL illusions like the Necrophos, the Shaker get banned out.
I really like CM for ninjas in pajamas right now. I think like knowing PPD, I think that's their hero.
Wait, which hero?
CM, sorry.
Only problem when they pick CM here is they're gonna have, they have no team fight hero, and they have no stuns, and then they have 2 picks left. And it
do
just-
they ever one Weaver support on NiP?
I mean, they probably can, I'm just looking at, is it good this game? Like it looks kind of mediocre, right?
Yeah, it's just when you first pick Weaver, I feel like you have to be willing to potentially put it at support because that hero is
usually
like
what's
so
made it.
momentum based.
Is it? It's usually what's made it a first 2 pick is
Yeah.
that it's got
Yeah.
some flex.
Yeah,
Because I think they can see him here, but then, I mean, they better have some cool stuff ready.
Yeah. Again, top 6 openers from the last month or so. CM Weaver has been one of those as a combo.
I just feel like these heroes like Phoenix are all block picked by like the silencer and stuff. So you have to default to the comfort zone, I think. And out of all of Peter's like known heroes, I feel like
Yeah.
that's the most likely.
I mean, Phoenix got worse, especially with the Centaur. You actually just run away with his ultimate. So
He's loved the Undying, by the way.
yeah.
Undying could be decent as
Actually,
well.
yeah, I don't mind. It's still the stun problem, but he at least has
Yeah,
team fight
no,
and
it
is
is.
strong in lane.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I think this is a kind of hard pick.
And they could even stick with the Wyvern, I think, as far as having something to do with TB. Gives you some at least AoE wave clear too out of a support role.
It's okay. Yeah, it's decent.
I don't love saving supports against silencer though.
No.
I don't like. It's not like you can't pick them. It's just not. They don't offer as much power.
Crystal Maiden. Into
I
Storm
don't
or
see anything something better. Yeah, like that's what I was thinking is like some mid laner that gets enabled by the aura.
No, I mean, I guess you save the mid because you definitely need some team fight.
Is Storm going to be enough lockdown and control though? Because your first 3 heroes have nothing.
And unless that Storm's a 4th pick, that's a fairly easy telegraph for Secret, isn't it? For a last ban.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if this were your NiP, if there's a hero mid that's going to win you the game, you pick it 4th because you have that double 8-9 pick in a row. But I'm not entirely sure Storm is like the perfect hero for them. Playing into Silencer.
It's usually not. It's not that bad.
Okay.
Like it doesn't. Honestly, playing Silencer versus Storm is not that.
And this
not
is a
fun.
Rubik pick, right? Like what else does Yapsor have in the pool? Like, and then it's against the Weaver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
There you
And then, okay, I'm on a roll. I gotta keep rolling with this here.
Go.
So I feel like they could just pick something like an Earth Spirit here. Like you can. It doesn't matter if you pick your mid or forward now because you have absolute last pick. And I feel like they're probably gonna do like some sort of aggro thing with Weaver safe lane. Like that would make a lot of sense to me at least. And
Do you mean aggro with the PL?
yeah. Like where your 4 like starts in the off lane and he may eventually TP to your safe lane. And I feel like a hero like Earth Spirit's good against the Terrorblade, the Rubik. They just go straight Huskar. Okay.
I mean, I like the idea, right? Is like they don't have the last pick, and Huskar doesn't really lose mid to anyone but him.
Lena's already banned too. I think Lena's pretty good against it.
It's alright. Like it doesn't really beat him though.
Can they take the TA?
No. You don't want to.
Yeah, you lose to Huskar.
Ooh.
Okay.
You don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Huskar usually makes you jungle
I
at
don't
level
know.
4.
I'm still questioning this Huskar. Maybe I mean they have the last pick here, but they still don't have this hero that does anything. They just need to pick a Tiny now. Like it doesn't even matter the lanes or anything. They need something that can move and kill
I mean,
people.
maybe they play Weaver as support and then pick some offlaner.
That's
just
true.
They just need anything.
Gonna
now.
do stuff.
Don't make the same mistake again because their lineup now is just the heroes. They just sit there. They might start off good. Like oh my god, they're up so much gold, and then you don't do anything.
So
You just sit
do Secret react to that Huskar now with the last pick, or do they kind of
About
ignore it and
time.
stick to their own game?
there. I mean, they're probably gonna pick something to counter mid, right?
You just pick something that doesn't get crushed. You can't pick any melee heroes.
I mean, if they get to choose, they're probably picking Invoker. I think that's the most chill matchup.
Yeah, Invoker offers like decent kill potential with a gank, so even if you fall behind, you have this Rubik hero, which is nice, and then once that target's 6, you have like plays to be made, so something to have plays made around. I like Invoker a lot. It's not the greatest against PL and Weaver, but
Yeah, no, that's true. It's pretty bad actually. But... Or they might have some other. The Invoker's the only one I know that that's okay in lane versus Huskar. Like it's annoying for the Huskar to play.
I still like Earth Spirit the most for NiP. I don't know if Soxa plays it though.
I think he kind of plays everything, I believe. I
Okay.
don't know, how would you lane that? You mean the Weaver Earth Spirit safe lane?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like pseudo aggro to start the game.
I mean, that lane would I think it would lose to Rubik Centaur though. I think they might actually get crushed if they have a sentry.
Do you think they have to pick something like Undying then, or like some strong?
No, they can't.
That's what I was thinking. Like all the strong laners are either out or.
They need a
Not
stun. They like Earth Spirit has a stun, I guess. I think they need a core though, like an enabled core that gets farm and can do something. Because right now I'm not. It's just, it's looking tough right now. I don't even think they're winning the lanes at the moment.
Yeah,
Is that?
I'm like trying to think about that
Brood.
core that you're talking about because I agree that's what they need. That's why I was thinking Earth Spirit, but
No.
that's like from the support role.
I think Secret think it's a core as well with that ban.
I mean, Secret ban on Tiny, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Because I think that was the obvious pick for them. I mean, they should definitely have fourth pick to Tiny. Maybe they got something though that I have no idea about. Maybe these, like the CMora with these heroes, like the Huskar can spam his inner mentality at the level we've never seen before or something.
Ooh.
Alright, so they're gonna
Okay.
push.
Core, maybe Core Fury on for mind control.
Yeah.
And then
It's not
Weaver
exactly-
4 position.
Yep, that makes
It's not
more
like a
sense. doesn't it?
stun, but it's like active.
Yeah, they can push the tempo with this. Not like this is really good for the Huskar mid because now they can actually like dive.
I like that pick a lot.
I think so too. And it's a very strong.
The
lane.
supports from Secret do nothing against that hero, like in the laning stage.
They're very slow.
And they've already locked in their side lanes. Like so they know what the Prophet's against. So the Prophet should be able to get off to a good start, and it kind of secures whatever lane he's in. So if it's a Prophet support, I think Weaver will win his lane. If it's a Prophet core, Weaver can go roam around and stuff.
Yep.
Mid one loves this
last
hero against
pick.
Huskar.
Oh yeah, that's but every time I've seen him, man, he has right click the Huskar and dies. Every time. And then he's level 4. And then he roams, I guess. But yeah, maybe I don't know.
It's really hard for Huskar to fight into later because he has no way of
Yeah.
being mobile. So the Monkey King ult's quite strong.
Ridwan's one of those guys who just doesn't care if he loses his lane,
No.
though. Like, he's often in these matchups where
I mean,
it's like, he may not win his lane,
yeah.
but you got to worry because he's on a hero that can do stuff on the map.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, it seems it's like a matchup I could play, Monkey King versus Huskar, because literally you right click him, right? And then whoever no one backs out. You buy a lot of fairy fires, and then you go for it.
Okay.
So I
Make it sound so simple.
I mean, if you look at him play, that's kind of how it goes.
All right, good stuff. Right then, it's time to head over to our commentary team for game number 2. Can Secret wrap this all up, or have NiP got a third game in them? Let's find out.
I'm down for a third game if Ninjas in Pajamas wish to oblige us. But Monkey King last pickup. I know we were talking about most of the draft and we were feeling pretty good for NiP, but does the Monkey King sway you at all?
Yes and no. I feel like Secret's issue in this game is just going to be addressing the pressure and the tempo that NiP can play with. I always talk about the heroes that are good right now have friends. You've got little Treant guys, Weaver bugs, PL illusions. It's a lot to deal with, and Secret doesn't really have any illusion clear right now.
Yep.
They need a huge niche at TB if they want to take the game and a favorable landing phase.
There's a lot of friends on a lot of sides, and this is going to test and see how many entities we can create inside the surf before it crashes. Be fine. Be totally fine.
I think we're going to get 3. It could go either way, though.
It definitely it feels that way, but at the same time, like you start to question, so like Secret are playing really, really fluid Dota right now, like really good Dota. Even when Nisha has a really bad start, you're like, oh, okay, maybe this game isn't. No, never mind. He's powerful. He's exactly where he needs to be, and maybe that's the Secret thing we got to look out for in this game is how they rotate and how they play their catch up, how they how they dynamically change against what NiP throw at them.
I just don't know if they have the same tools as they did in the previous series or the previous game, where you're now in this position where both of your supports are very squishy. Rubik Silencer, you don't do anything until much later into the game. There's not a ton of great steals for the Rubik, and you just feed all game to pretty much everything that NiP has to offer. And to your point about Nisha, like, I would counter with like Fada, man. I feel like he's been underperforming for this entire season, and I want to see him return to form, but he just doesn't seem comfortable on the role that NiP has put him in. This is his third Huskar game.
Yeah.
And I think Fada, Razor, Puck, Quap, Viper, all these heroes that are dead and unpickable.
I want to see more back on the Beastmasters if you can make him viable. Like the stunning initiators, the ones who can be the big playmakers and the positioners. Where Huskar is kind of like, I'm going to jump in as long as I can armlet toggle and my friends are with me, I'm all okay. Yeah. And they've actually switched up the lanes a little bit too, so they're actually going to run Fada as that like classic mid. Mind Control is heading towards the bottom lane. And then up towards top is going to be the PL.
I just want to point out in base where Fada's standing, this was from some guy on Reddit that had 10 comments. He taught everyone how to block properly on Radiant again. And by standing in that square, you actually get all 4 Radiant creeps to line up in a row. Fada wasn't doing this in Hamburg, but he is now. So shout out to that dude.
I think that gives him the advantage. So far, Puppey's already doing the block for mid one. Mid one will take it over, and we'll see who has that high ground advantage.
This is definitely a better matchup than I think Kunkka was, but at the same time, I feel like this is Huskar favored.
As long as he can get the hits, and the creep wave is exactly in the middle, so nobody gets an advantage. Mind Control will be on the bottom, and it looks like Centaur's managed to get himself matched up against Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, this is... I think this is what you want. It's tough for me to get a read on these lanes, because I feel like the NiP supports are just better in a lot of ways, but we'll see. I haven't seen Weaver support in a game like this where there's no like strength hero you're playing with. But at the same time, the bugs plus a Prophet and a Blightstone on that Prophet is pretty effective.
Oh, Yabsor's being a real pain in the butt. He's done this pull through so many times, and Saksa came over to try and stop him, or at least do some level of damage to try and slow him down.
That's well done. Yeah, I mean, Yapster just does this every game. Part of the reason I didn't like that Band-Aid fix of not being able to pull that first creep wave, all these teams, they just pull second creep wave now. It doesn't really change the way the lane is played. It just...
It's like I just harass for a little bit, and then I'll move into the side lane. Oh, okay. Puppey's doing a really good job of trying to zone out PPD on the top lane. Makes it difficult for Ace to actually stand forward and be a real player against Nisha. Now the Metamorphosis is weared off, like Ace may feel a little bit more comfortable there. But getting cursed up and having the glaive harassment, yep, well, goodbye mid lane. Fada, you wanted him to step up, he gets the kill over on mid one.
Yep.
That's a good start.
I think that's just another death where, yeah, obviously Fada punishes, but mid one's still playing the lane properly, and that once you hit the point of no return, you have too many stacks on you, you just have to try and go for the kill, because at the very least you'll deal enough damage to force equitable regen purchase by the opposing mid player. And oh, Yapsor.
Yep, he's having a crack towards Fada, and Fada is, well, he thought he was safe underneath the tower, but a double damage rune, Rubik rotates over, causes problems.
Yep, mid one desperately pushing out the creep wave now. Like, I gotta get my CS while I can.
Weaver's doing a good job of just trying to keep Zai out of this bottom lane. It's still 5 CS for the Centaur, and just running your Treants into it doesn't seem to be as, well,
yeah, the big problem is, look top, man. Look at the CS disparity. This is just Nisha gaming right here. Last game, he somehow managed to beat a tri-lane Terrorblade's CS with Morphling after a heavy pressure. He is bodying Ace top lane.
I think it's also a lot of the pressure that Puppey's been applying. Like, he's keeping PPD well out of the lane. And he's been a real nuisance to Ace. Like, I think Ace has thrown one lance at Nisha. The rest of them have gone the way of Puppey. And they're just tick charging this up as now, oh, there's your rotation coming in from Sark. So they want the kill onto Puppey, and they will be able to claim it. So they'll remove that Thorn in their side. But at the same time, I'm seeing another Thorn coming in towards mid lane. We'll see if mid one is able to get enough of the hits up on the Jingu Mastery against Fada.
This is a very risky maneuver. because you always have to be concerned about the Furian's teleport back in. They'll know he just cycled out, though.
Here's the
Mind
pickup.
control spot.
Couple of hits, that's 3, that's 4. The heavy damage with a slap down.
Wow.
One more will do it. And mid one with the Monkey King. Sometimes you can think he's a range hero with the length of his stick.
Yeah, I thought they'd have damage issues, but Huskar's got 1 armor, and that's a lot of physical damage. I actually think he might have made a mistake here on Fada, not going for like an Aquila or maybe even a chainmail, just so you have some sort of armor playing up against a Monkey King.
Oh, Yapso's going to come in again. He's got a Illusion Rune. The Radiant Observer, well, this time around, however, we'll see it, but it doesn't stop Fada from trying to keep the creep wave away from his tier 1 tower. He needs to keep that equilibrium on his side.
And bear in mind, the style of this game, the tempo needs to favor NiP if they want to win. And so far, their lanes are not going well. You need PL to just be able to play topside for this entire game. Furion as well. Like, these heroes will fall off if they can't maintain advantage and take towers.
Yeah, but this is also Mind Control's Furion. Like, I am never underestimating this hero, and Zaya's going to be really careful not to feed the beast.
Well played TP out from the Yapsor mid lane. He bought a Fairy Fire in base and used it or he would have died. It was really cool.
Rotations up towards top as the 5-minute runes are about to come. Ace just wants to doppelganger himself away. PPD is coming closer too, but so is Saksa. Puppey begins his own TP all the way back to base, so the supports are gone. Mind Control. As I was able to get the bounty rune on bottom, but that's still going to be 3 bounty runes going the way of NiP for the 5-minute mark.
Now this is the problem. Like, I don't actually know what lane Furion wants to play into now. It's very difficult to TP anywhere, and you're no longer at a point where you can really win this lane bottom by yourself. Zai's got the Ring of Health, and as soon as he hits 6, that turnaround potential, I mean, Furion just feeds if he's caught. Any +1 lands the kill. And the 2 supports of Secret, we were talking about how easy they are to abuse. They don't feel pressured at all.
Yes, when you leave cores behind though, like Nisha's up here by himself. Support's finally coming in the form of Yapsor, picks up PPD, throws him down. A quick curse from Puppey, and PPD just TPs away to safety. Almost feels like we're playing against Bloodseekers at the moment. I'm under attack, just TP away.
This is down bottom. Zai's almost pulled even with the Furion in CS. That's very impressive.
Weaver able to actually steal the regeneration rune away from mid 1, and with the combine, actually Fada, way too much damage for him. That Boundless Strike really hurt from mid 1, and he almost gets the secondary hit he needed in to get the kill. Yapsor does his own TP out, and once again, all the way back to base. Mind Control leaves the bottom lane, and they instantly want to add this early pressure as what we're looking for from NiP.
And I like this move. As soon as Mind Control hits 6, he TPs. He hits that before Zai did.
Wrath of Nature, he hadn't. I didn't realize he had so many 1 charges. Got his life back up again, so Ace can't finish the job.
This is really well done.
I think Puppey's actually looking for a wraparound kill, but there's this dive on mid lane. Team NiP.
Yeah, they have Stampede, but they have nothing beefy enough to really get in the face of a Huskar and a Prophet. Top lane, Nisha's in a lot of trouble.
Yep, he's trying to stay alive, but with that Weaver bug latched firmly to his bum, he could not get out. And now they jump in towards mid lane. Mid 1 able to get that big slap down. Fada, is that enough burning? Mid 1 is dropping very, very low, and yep, it will be the trap, but he gets the kill. He actually kills Fada before Fada kills him.
Yeah,
Yapsor the Burning Spear won't kill him either.
They made that move because they knew Mind Control's TP was still on cooldown. And they punish before he's able to get back in position. A nice rotation from him. He ditches the center lane before he's threatened by the Stampede, kills mid tower, and now he's back to farming bottom. But NiP utilizes Radiant Advantage. Take this top tower the next time, set up for a gank on Nisha. That's going to be your move.
Yep. And they can keep adding a lot of pressure to do this push. Fada knows that Zai is just down here on bottom lane, so it's quite an easy kill off for him as there is little to nothing that Zai can do. No mana, no defense, no hope.
Nice game. This is both teams, I think, executing their game plan. NiP sitting comfortably with all 3 cores on top of the net worth.
Nisha thought he may have actually been safe. Mind Control doing his rotation with the Wrath of Nature kicking through. They find that bonus damage. Grabbing Nisha just before he hits level 6, 5 3/4.
Yep, perfect play. That's exactly how you want to play Prophet. Make your first move mid as you hit 6, make your second move top, and that's 2 towers collected, no problem. This is the sort of advantage Core Prophet gives you, but capitalizing on it, that's the difficulty, and that's part of the reason the hero doesn't see as much play anymore. Games are going much longer, and Prophet will start to fall off once you hit that 30-minute, 40-minute mark.
Mid one's getting aggressive on the Weaver. 3 hits, and already Saxa knows he has to sit behind the tower. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Frostbite over on Puppey. Another jump forward. Fada gets his 4th kill of the game. Meanwhile, Weaver does die on the tier 1 tower on bottom.
Good movement from Secret Nisha. In the meantime, popping a meta just to farm this triple camp in the Dire Woods. Should be.
Certain this is the fight that Zaya is really looking for. With the tree summon, they see mid 1 out. Okay, it is. Jumping forward, using the Stampede for the bonus movement speed. Ace will be here as well to help out. Nature's Prophet. Mind Control having almost impossible time to get away. Puppey gets in range for the +2, but it's the Boundless Strike that hits in towards Fada as Yapzor controls him, holds him there, and then into the Wukong command. It's the defense notion here from mid one to try and survive and get himself down towards the shrine. The regeneration will keep him alive and deny the kill to Fada.
What was Fada? Like, Fada beeline towards mid, but that wave was already pushed. He gets his team killed because he ran over a Dire Observer, but there's really no reason for him to rotate mid. He's the Huskar. He's the pressure. And that leads to now your Prophet just getting stampeded on.
They find Zaya up on top lane, so Prophet will catch Puppey inside the jungle. Zaya was just able to walk off everything else, but it's the follow-up from Yapzor and mid one. Gonna punish Mind Control, so you can get this kill over onto Puppey.
Dude, mid one's Monkey King on another level, man. It looks like you're playing against an anti-mage, but he has a stun and that team fight spell. And you can see Fada walked in, and now he's in the center of the Wukong, and you just don't play Dota anymore if you're Huskar.
Saxa's getting some time on bottom lane without any kind of pressure from Team Secret, so he's playing catch-up for the moment. While PPD and Ace want to continue their pressure on top lane. They don't want to give this free space towards Zai. Even with the Frostbite, seems like Ace as well as PPD, they're very uncertain if they really want to go for this. Mind Control begins his TP now. At the same time, Monkey King comes onto the tier 2 tower. Oh, that's a long dive in. Nice doppelganger. Dodging Zaya's hoof stomp. So Ace able to find the kill, but man, he is deep. And Yapzor wants to try and find the kill of his own. He stole doppelganger away from Ace. Ace will need a little bit more time, but with mid one arriving, Boundless Strike off cooldown. They'll pick him up, they'll throw him down, and +2.
Dude, Yapzor kill steals everything. It's funny because I talked with Sunby and Puppey a bit. And it's a meme within the team that Yap always takes the kills. And they don't mind because they know he delivers, especially when he's on his signature Rubik. But he is so selfish.
Mind Control's in trouble if he doesn't get out of here right now. The jump forward from mid one, the slap down, and the global silence. No way for the Crystal Maiden to lend that Frostbite and buy the space to TP out, so she'll just do her own TP.
Perfect silence from Puppey. Literally caught PPD mid-animation with the Frostbite that would have saved his friendly Prophet. But alas.
You mentioned when we were looking at the draft, we saw the Huskar picked up, that there needs to be a hero who's able to pick up the Spirit Vessel. And Zaya, I guess Sucks' job, it seems, is actually got the Urn of Shadows. She's not getting the Spirit Vessel.
You really need it against the Huskar.
Yeah, against Huskar. Yeah,
you like having it on the team, but someone on Secret's going to look to get that ASAP.
Yeah, it was Zaya, sorry, the other way around. He got the Vanguard instead of actually getting the Urn up.
Yeah. I don't mind that, though. Crimson is so valuable. We talked about all the friends that NiP had, not to mention how Huskar attacks very quickly, of course. Crimson Guard nullifies almost all of NiP's damage. They have next to no magical outside of the CM and the Prophet ult. So I really like the item choice. And once again, that's like kind of Zai's niche in this team where he's more of a 3.5 and always goes for those proper, sustainable teamfight items to keep his whole squad alive. Not just himself.
Yes.
Looking at you, Yapzor.
It's a team game, right? PPD, he's going to find Puppey. No, Puppey gets the curse off. And PPD just has to run away. Well, Huskar, no! They can't clip him up, but what they can do is they can get the Boundless Strike down and the Wukong command. No way to escape back out again. And Yapzor, stealing the level 4 Crystal Nova, kills PPD with his own ability.
I once again question what Fada's doing there. Like, as soon as PPD's caught, ditch. That's it. And you can look at the warding placed as well for the preemptive. Just the way Secret plays. They're controlling this area of the map. They're walking through the wards, and there's just now 5 heroes. They had no hope. Weaver, Prophet, PL, no one's there. And you can't team fight Secret. It's the same as the previous game. They have these easy win ultimates. Silencer ult, Stampede, Monkey King. You can't contest these as NiP.
Yep. I'm wondering if NiP are able to do the same thing we've seen from Team Secret, which is just like know when to cut your losses, know when to change your plan up. Because at the moment, it seems like NiP are just doing the same thing 3 times in a row, and 3 times in a row, Team Secret continue just to bring back the advantage. In fact, they've gained it in experience, even if they haven't reclaimed it in gold just yet. But mind control, maybe this is one way to do it. They look towards Roshan.
We would have liked to have made this move before losing all the heroes that they did. Fada already up to 5 deaths.
Can Team Secret contest this? Like, Nisha, he's not ready for a TP at the moment. He can have mana by just popping the 1 charges and get over, but maybe Secret are not even realizing this is going on. They are well away. So yeah, this belongs to NiP. Aegis Immortal in the hands of the Huskar, a very much needed item for any Huskar player.
I mean, I don't think you can contest that if you're Secret, but you're content with the way this game has played out. You don't have any towers yet, but you're only 2,000 gold behind. Bounties are going to spawn. I think they're going to look to control both of the bottom ones. Just keep stalling the game. It feels like I'm watching that old Secret that almost always was in a finals. Yeah, they might be behind the lanes, the mid-game, but they always have a plan, and it feels like methodically they're grinding away to a win. There's a big smoke by NiP. This has got to work.
Yeah, but look at Puppey's position. Mid-one's position as well. Sux is there for the rune for 15-minute mark, and now maybe the Beatles able to connect. They will clip onto YapzOr, but mid-one's fine up in the tree line. And YapzOr just walks it off. They don't find what they're looking for. So they'll have to force the fight underneath the tier 1 tower on bottom lane. But this is when you see Team Secret's warding. They see the west, they see the south.
And this is where they want to be fighting. They couldn't defend the previous towers because it's profit. It's 6 to 8 minutes into the game. You give those away. But now you stop the momentum in its tracks, capitalize on your superior team fight, and try and take this engagement.
It seems so easy to slow it. Like, you just curse. Now mid-one, he'll drop down, hits the Boundless Strike. Fada, he's got to get outside of the Wukong command, and he's able to do so as the Wrath of Nature bounces through for mind control. Team Secret cop a little bit of damage. They burn a lot of abilities.
No MCs in that little corner, though. You got to be careful, but the Monkey King ult's down. Stampede as well.
Sending more illusions, using Sprout to scout out mid-one as he bounces around the tree line. But this all seems just to create space, because I'm looking at Nisha pressuring the tier 1 tower on top. He's had a lot of space to farm. Zai was doing the same type of thing in mid. And it's NiP who are the ones to fall back. Ace heads towards the top. Mind Control's got the mid. Yes, the tier 1 tower falls on bottom, but how many times have we seen him feed the beast? Zai, he'll get his TP off in mid. Mind Control has no disable for it.
He also has enough gold for the blink, so he's going to wait 6 seconds and pick that up. And it's all about just being methodical. Yeah, you don't take the fight bottom, but think about how much time they bought with those ults used. They force NiP to back away from their big timing, Diffusal and Aegis Huskar. And now you have a Blink Centaur. Nisha's got a lot more space. He's got level 2 Sunder now. And they're just slowing the pace of the game, trying to waste this Aegis of NiP. It's really cool calls. And here comes the smoke.
Yep, Team Secret looking for the hunt. The Blink Dagger available. YapzOr moves forward. Looks like a smoke up from NiP as well. They were, I believe, out of range. Yeah, they are out of range of that Dire Observer Ward, so it won't be scouted out. They see Puppey in mid. And they need to be able to hit the Nova and Frostbite. And that's what they will be able to claim. Or will they? Stampede. Okay, now the Frostbite's used. Puppey tries to charge forward, but Fada just gets the jump off.
Yeah, he forgot Zai had his hands on his keyboard. He hesitated for a bit there. If he had just kept walking away, he would have lived for sure. Stutter stepped a bit.
I'm sort of slowing down the push in mid. Level 4 Fade Bot makes life very, very difficult. I love how he's not even trying to steal anything from Fada, but the Wukong command from mid one right around the tower. They already break the Aegis of the Immortal. Mind Control as well. He thought he was in a great position, but he was surrounded by Team Secret. A double kill for Nisha.
Man, I hate to keep bragging on the guy, but why is Fada playing bottom side of that tower?
Like, TPD will die as well. They wait for Puppey to come in range. Another +2. Affected by 10 Intel Steel.
Your only fear is Monkey King Ultimate right now as Huskar. You cannot be caught in a position where not only are you going to go down, but you're still in the middle of Wukongs. There's no Force Staff on the Radiant side. They don't have an Ags up yet on Saksa. There's no real save for you.
And Nisha just found himself a double damager, and so this mid push will come even faster.
That was a silence for top. Oh, that was so good. He prevents the Weaver ultimate.
And
now
they get the
find
kill
PL.
onto mid.
Man.
So mid one's able to claim top lane. Ace was a little bit too close as well. He actually got last word, but still continued to walk in. It really feels like NiP are in disarray. They do not know how to deal with this Team Secret lineup. Like, it doesn't even matter what the draft is for them. Like, now, Stampede away. Zai knows he's low on life, but with the distance he'll create, the regeneration, not to mention all the health he's got, Zai will easily survive.
I mean, just look at the way NiP itemized. They went all in for this phase of the game. Drums, Solar Crest, a Diffusal on PL, a rush Ags after Earn on Weaver with no boots. Their whole concept of the game is walk over towers, get early Roche, and have such a suffocating lead that they can just walk into base and spam spells. But you're at a point now, Secret's team fight is out of control. You're going to have no chance at winning a fight for the second Roche, and mid one, Monkey King, that's crazy. Seems like the only one that can make this hero look actually very good.
He's playing around with the Wukong. He does not want to commit this for the Weaver because there's not enough control. Right, Global Silence doesn't do his job. Dire scanning out. Just making sure this is, I think this is the third time I've seen Team Secret do this, where they just scan up the hill as they try and do these aggressive wards inside the Radiant jungle.
Ooh.
Just making sure they get it. Mid one, up on top. There's the leap away, and the pounce down, and the leap back up. Again, this is one maneuverable monkey.
Yeah, and he almost always goes for the Tree Dance cast range for that exact reason. You have more mobility than any other hero in Dota, and even though they know he's in the trees somewhere, might as well be anywhere because that leap range is just bonkers. Because it's on the cast range and like the activate range. So as you can see, like you bounce down, bounce up, and you're 3,000 units away.
Oh, they're jumping again. They found my... No, they don't find Jack. Mid one just bounces away, and now they look for a better target. Yapsor runs in, able to get the pickup, throw down, use the Crystal Nova to slow him up. Ace will have to doppelganger himself out, but damn! The damage, they just turn on the reflection, and you know which one's real instantly at that point.
Yep. It's part of the reason Rubik is so good against PL is not only do you steal the magical damage spells, but you can amp the damage that the PL and his illusions take, and that double edge starts to hurt.
Oh, the chase continues to go on. Yapsor sticking up with PPD. The Nova return. Nisha turns around looking for his own kill. Nisha will claim this one. No KSing from Yapsor on that, even though he did try.
And it's just so cool. These teams, like they're both good. They're both trying to execute their concepts. Secret giving up the tier 1s very early, but looking to capitalize and take both mid and top down ASAP because that's what opens up Roche for the Dire squad, and they need that to go down before that second Roche spawns. And, yeah,
Let's have a closer look at that, I guess. This is for people who do not have vision. Mid lane, the chase is coming in. A nice slap down and the global silence. No way for the Huskar to fight. They're caught inside of Wukong, picking up the PL and throwing him in. How many times must Secret have a flawless fight? It just seems it's like second nature is breathing to these guys. And PPD slaps down a double kill for mid one. This is punishing.
It's like watching 5 fishing boats swarm out to try and take on a tsunami. There's just nothing you can do. Secret runs in.
Extend the nets. Oh, drag.
They pop all their ults. You see the Crimson Guard? It's almost like just a display of dominance. Like, what are you going to do, NiP?
Yep. Sox is looking towards the mid. Reflection turns on, but it's on bottom lane, where it's mid one and Yapsor playing around with mind control. The tier 3 tower has been dropped in the mid lane in the meantime. But that's 4 hits, it's up, and mid one, 2 hits, 1, 2, Yapsor.
Of course.
My God, this man. It's a team game, but he needed his Blink Dagger and an extra 500 gold.
Once again, though, like, how crisp is that? The 3 heroes mid get the tier 3 and get out safely before the respawns come in, while the Monkey King and Yapsor hunt down a Prophet trying to hide out in his trees. It's just advantage everywhere you look for Team Secret.
And the fact there was like no answer to it. It's like, okay, well, they should have their numbers split. Like, there should be a way that NiP can defend their high ground. Have they got the resources to do it? And nope. They just make sure that Nature's Prophet cannot start relieving the pressure for NiP and create him some space for that PL to get into late game.
Yeah, PL late game doesn't even win this game up against Centaur, then with the return talent.
Here goes NiP again.
They look at the circle just drawn though by Yapsor. He knows what's up.
They have no global silence for 15 seconds, so even if he knows what's up, like does Min1 want to get in on this? He'll bounce up. They avoid the swarm. As Roshan, very low. There's a quick curse, but Roshan killed by the Radiant.
Anyway.
Fada has the Aegis, the Immortal. And the cheese is in the hands of the PL. Slap, Yapsor, pick him up, has an over, global silence out once more. They actually waited for the global silence to come up before they took this fight, and Fada, the Aegis will shatter, but it's in the backlines up next towards Roshan. Doppelganger Ace must use it to get away to safety, but I think PPD is kind of dying to curse at the moment. He had to commit a lot of abilities to give his teammates the space, and they're giving him an urn charge. He'll be able to survive, and the Trunk of Boots will kick in.
Man. Just again, even though that fight doesn't go optimally for Secret, you could see there was an understanding that they were going to kill the Huskar. They look for the Weaver in the meantime and immediately bolt as Huskar comes back up from the Aegis. Like, they're never overextending, and they're limiting NiP's ability to punish. Because if NiP can get those couple kills with ults down, they can start pursuing, but
They're going
it's
again.
a big if.
Yapsor, he's got Shikuchi. He moves so fast. He's even starting with Yule Scepter to allow Min1 to get the jump in and then the extra control with telekinesis. For PPD, they drop down the sentry. Yapsor, Shikuchi off cooldown. He'll just keep running. Min1 will keep bouncing, and support in the meantime is on the way. Nisha will arrive. He'll leave the bounty room because he doesn't care. There is money in heroes and not just investment in banking. They look for even more. The reflection, we stop for a second to breathe, and Ace, he drops down quickly. If it wasn't for the cheese, he'd be dead. It's slapped down. Yapsor trying to get in range with a blink dagger. He picks up the Weaver, throws him down. He's looking for the stun over on top of Ace. Instead, they just combo at Weaver, able to get him this, but what they really want, they want that PL. They want him dead. Reflection turns on again. My lord, this damage! Huskar, he's under his tier 4 towers, and they don't give an F. They are going to take him out, no issues at all. Turn towards the mid-racks. They need a creep wave. They're battling through backdoor regeneration. Don't worry, Yapsor's got it.
The pursuit, like, the way they play is insane. It's like the Tide. They kill the Furion. Immediately, Yapsor and Min1 somehow escape as the entire team of NiP tries to close in on them. And then Secret's just like, hey, we're here, guys. And you see Min1 just leap right back into the fray.
Yep.
Wait for their spells to come off cooldown. They got all their ults up as the fight went on. They didn't even have to use the global silence. Another DD on Nisha.
Yeah. There's just no threat of damage against them either.
Yeah, it's a great point. There's no burst damage. There's no way to actually threaten any of the cores because, once again, Secret's in this position where they're just unkillable. They have Centaur with 3,200 HP and a Crimson Guard. TB's got 25 and a Sunder, and we've seen Monkey King, yeah, maybe Min1 doesn't have that much HP, but how do you catch him?
Yep.
He's Tarzan.
And when you want to start doing damage, Poppy just burns Global Silence, and they never take a fight, like a big team fight, while Global Silence is down. Like, the fact they let Roshan happen because they knew they would still be able to take the fight directly after. It's like, okay, we're not going to give them the advantage, because if they take the fight to try and contest Roshan, they potentially lose the fight, lose Roshan, and then lose the control of the game. That's what I think is even more scary as I just watched Team Secret play. They are never in that position where you just question if Team Secret is in control.
Yep.
Even if they're not in control of the game, they're always in control of their own actions.
Yep, that's a very good point. I think that that's critical in this current meta where you need to have an understanding of how your team is going to win all the way through the draft to the end of the game. And you see a lot of teams that have good ideas, but they don't necessarily understand, like, why are we going to win? Like we saw in the game J-Storm played, right? Where their itemization didn't really link up. You've got some people going for massive team fight, then you've got someone going for a boss in the shadow. They don't really understand how are we as a team going to close this out. Secret, they get it.
Secret get it even more. Like, they're getting a halberd onto Zai, so then the attack from Huskar will be completely, well, stopped. Yapsor is almost completely off his Aghanim Scepter because, hey, he's Yapsor. Min1 actually went for Butterfly. He went for Echo Saber, Desolator, Butterfly. So he's just trying to hit real hard to make sure he can't be hit back. And Nisha's the tank.
Yep.
Like, it's his standard item build anyway. Like, he's not breaking the norm at all. He feels very, very comfortable.
I mean, there's no magical damage on the side of NiP, so if they just keep itemizing for evasion, for block, for armor, raw HP, there's nothing you can do to take them down.
Good Observer Ward and Sentry. They're seeing Nisha farming inside their own jungle. And again, I say good Observer Ward and Sentry. I don't think there's anything they can really do about it. He just walks off. Doesn't take long for Monkey King to get over either.
Meantime, 3 heroes of NiP sit inside their base. Fata, unfortunately, all the way in 6th. The net worth Sox actually breathing down his neck in terms of net worth.
I think they're trying to set up a gank up on top lane. Like Ace, as well as Mind Control, have just been hanging around. They're hoping that just one person's going to feel like they can take the farm. But with PL Illusion showing up on top lane, yeah, there's both Puppey and mid 1 holding hands. There are no easy targets for NiP.
And closing on the next Roche spawn. Secret just continuing to starve the map. I don't think they feel any pressure. And this is the benefit of having a TB where the lanes are going to shove constantly. They have the mid racks and TB Illusion's bottom. There's no real way for NiP to move out on the map because once again, where's their reach? Who's the initiator? How do you actually find a kill on either the 2 submarines or tanks, whatever metallic armored vehicle you'd prefer, and then Tarzan swinging through the jungle stealthily, waiting to strike at any moment?
You want the armored tank, you need the armored bug they had previously with that Nyx assassin, and get at least that was able to get information. But you're right, in this game, like it's what, Crystal Maiden? No. It's sort of Weaver and like
the Ags first Weaver.
The Ags first Weaver, which I think just has to be for the crazy high ground defense of, hey, we can hit the timing on this just as well. So like we have our own Sunder available through the Weaver.
Yeah, it's just such a tall task. You can see NiP, they're desperately trying to move out on the map. 3 heroes
They found a target.
Lane.
They found Zai. But they've got to
or
jump.
Did Zai find them?
Very good question. Post on forward, a quick double edge, and now, well, they use that Aghanim Scepter of the Weaver just to repair the damage, but the pressure is coming in through the rest of Team Secret up on top, and Zai just, they have been, it was 3-on-1. It was 3-on-1, and it's like, nope, 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 and nope.
And this is a great photo of a bunch of lions trying to attack a hippo. Reminds me of that scenario.
That's one witnessed. Very thick hide.
Indeed.
Okay, Shikuchi again for Big Yapsaw. Reposition and high movement speed is something he always loves.
And I like what Secret did here. Second Roche is spawning as Dire. Like, just count it. You play this top shrine area, you place Vision, and you sit here. And at a certain point, NiP's going to be like, shit, guys, Roche is spawning. We need to address that. They're going to walk straight up the high ground and into certain demise.
There's no way they could do that. Like, if they do that, they lose the game. But then if they let Roshan happen, they lose the game.
Yeah.
So
you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Indeed.
And you got double butterflies up. So Nisha completed his. You got the one over on mid 1. Aghanim Scepter's over on Yapsaw as well. And Zai is, well, yeah, he's 130 gold away, 1,300 gold, sorry, away from completing up his harp. And that doesn't take him long when he's got control of the entire map.
He went for the strength talent as well. He's just so tanky.
It's just gonna be like strength and return. It's like, okay, boys, I'll kill the tier 4s. Let me just stand here and please hit me.
Yep. And I'm just happy. I feel for Puppey last couple of years. He hasn't been where he wanted to be. He sees himself.
They had it for a while though during the last DPC, but at the very beginning.
Not
and then,
really.
And then you reach the DreamHack Major, and after that it kind of just trickled down.
They had a draft advantage at the time. Ace was utilizing, like, it was the first time we saw Arc Warden. Lone Druid was good. He had a Meepo game. And like, they closed out these really cool drafts, and they were able to take a tournament, but that was still when a lot of teams were rusty. They didn't have the staying power, and I really think this team is one that's going to be able to compete for what Puppey wants, that TI championship.
Like today, though, you were saying something very similar about Nisha's hero pool. Like
yes,
Terrorblade, Morphling. It's very much the same type of line again. Yapsaw is going to initiate in on the top lane, so they're already looking to kill off the Huskar, while on bottom lane, Zai, you know he's going to stampede away, but it's the top lane when the kill will happen. Vada going down, Zai begins to TP. Does anybody have a stun?
No. Not a single hero has a stun, Toby. And I was wondering if he would realize that. He did with plenty of time to spare.
Yep. And now Nisha, just from range, attacks in. A 3-man curse. Sure, why not? keep him slowed up. There's Global Silence still available. Terrorblade has his Sunder too, and mid one is preparing for the leap in. Reflection hits again, everything slows down. Nice little cut from Mind Control. At least he's able to get rid of the trees of Monkey King, but then Global Silence is out. The slapdown is there. No way for Sasuke to escape, and this is really the game. Like, they cannot get rid of Team Secret. This is an infestation of NiP base.
Just wait till the more friends come out from the Monkey King, and all of a sudden, the Wukongs will go down.
Let's just chugga as Team Secret looks to win the game. But Team Secret, they have displayed this high level of patience. Okay, you buy back the Weaver. That's great. We'll reset. We have 2 lanes that are pushing our way right now. The third one, it won't take that much longer, and Nisha waits for Metamorphosis. 77 seconds. He gets a regeneration rune because, hey, why not? And Yapzor is able to steal... Okay, he got Wrath of Nature. Sure, let's add more damage into Rubik.
I just like this. You could probably end the game there if you're Secret, but why? You know, it's a 98% chance of success, whereas you can just back off, set up for this next Roche, and then go bottom. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Sox is walking out. He's just on the edge of the vision of the Observer Ward. But Team Secret, they just beat the crap out of Roshan. Not a lot Weaver can do for it. Like, he can potentially swarm in a second. Goes for the 35-minute bounty runes, and now Yapzor's just like, yeah, guys, this guy's stealing my runes. That's my money.
Look at Zai middle. Sup, boys?
Are they killing themselves yet?
No, but
he needs the gain return aura, and then we're cooking with gas.
You know, it's not as good as you think it would be, just because it uses your own strength on the return aura. I love this though. Yeah, there we go. Just kill the tier 4s real quick.
The heart remains active, so he doesn't really care. The more damage he takes, the better it is. Kind of hilarious for a hero who has 10 armor to do such a thing. There's the Wrath of Nature bouncing through from Yapzor. Able to use the time lapse nice and quickly as Ace wants to charge forward. What do they actually steal? It's actually time lapse. It's the Aghanim's time lapse that Yapzor's got. He just does all the damage. Sides back to full health. They jump back in again, and now it's freezing field for Yapzor that he'll steal too. Huskar's on the front lines, but it's a 3-man slap down with a boundless strike. No way to escape. Yapzor lets it go. His defensive Yule Scepter up. PPD will die as well. A quick jump forward, but he steals the life break and jumps back into the Huskar. How much can you buy out? Oh, this is punishing. This is punishing. GG, like all good teams do. It is NiP going down 2-0 to Secret. What a round for Secret. It has been a flawless victory for them today. A 4-0. First against J-Storm and now against NiP. They look hot.
They were the favorites coming into the event, and they've done nothing to demonstrate that they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That was crisp, clean. I'm personally looking forward to listening to the panel, especially BSJ, talk about Dota that, let's be honest, they're never going to be able to perform like this, but it's great to get to watch.
Really? Yeah. You of all people want to make that kind of comment?
I knew. I was just throwing you a softball. Thanks for that one, though, Toby. I'm glad I get to be here with you.
BSJ, tell us how Yule Scepter is working.
Yeah, we'll get BSJ just to fire back shots and stuff. Thank you very much, Toby and Kyle, for their commentary on our second series of the day. Another dominant performance by Team Secret, and we'll break it down. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with a comeback to Kyle? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, we were talking about the draft since we didn't really give our predictions.
I want to hear about the lane.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the lane is supposed to go.
Okay,
Crystal Maiden Peel versus...
When I was talking in the draft, the Crystal Maiden Peel thing, it's that you can nuke the Terrorblade down to half, and then you have the third hero there such that if he walks up, he dies.
Oh, now you need a third hero.
Yeah.
We were talking about before there was this third hero.
I said the aggro tri-lane in the draft. I said the aggro tri-lane.
Your face is... your face, I believe you, because...
it's very specific.
The veins are popping out of his head right now. You can't see that.
Otherwise, Terrorblade just like out-damages you and like will out-CS you, and then you're behind in levels, and then once he gets meta the second time, the lane's like over. And so that's just one of those like very specific things that it can cost you a game sometimes if like one lane doesn't go the way that you envisioned it going.
Yeah.
But we were talking about, I thought that NiP's draft had like a better chance of winning this game than the last one, and I was thinking to myself, if I predict NiP to win this game, and they do, I'll already have predicted more correct wins than Kyle in the last like 7 lands.
That's true.
I think you already had.
With the one?
Yeah, I think with the first one. Yeah.
I thought he got one in there somewhere.
I think he's something like 0-423 or something right now, so it's fine. Yeah.
At some point, you have to think that he's like trying, but then you never really know.
No, I think he's trolling.
Yeah.
I thought NiP kind of salvaged the draft with the Prophet last pick. Like, because they actually have no stuns. They have a Frostbite. And then you told me about the lane, the Crystalmate and PL lane. I was like, okay. If you can do that, if you can beat the Terrorblade in lane with the hero that's supposed to counter him, like, I like that.
I was eating lunch for the first like 5 minutes of the game, so I didn't see that. But like I thought with the Prophet pick, that set them up perfectly to do the aggro tri-lane with Weaver starting top.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just not what they did. So.
What was the key issue for NiP in this game?
No, I mean, it was that they lost the lane they thought they were going to win. Like, they set up because you saw in the draft, right? They picked Terrorblade, Silencer, and instantly the PL comes, and they're like, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work out. And then you have no stuns. I mean, they did some things well. Like, they could probably have won this game, I think. They just ended up, they like went to their safe lane and died a bunch of times.
They got that first Roshan in ages and looked like, okay, they're ever so slightly ahead in gold. They were, I think, maybe like 2-3k gold ahead.
Yeah,
they were pushing that bottom tier 1 tower, but that was still like a tier 1 tower. They weren't really in control by any means.
Yeah, and like I think they got a couple. Like, I don't think the Weaver has to rush Axe that game. Should probably just get a 4-step. And I like what Farah did. He went face boots this time on Huskar, so it actually allowed him to like move around a little bit, so he could do something.
Great
So
game from Mid1 on Monkey King. Also from Nisha again, 11-2 and 10 from him. And guess what? Nothing on the other side other
MVP.
than... Well, we'll do MVP in a moment. But
we already set Nisha MVP of the tournament, I believe.
Well, yeah, he's already won the tournament MVP.
Yes.
We're agreed?
Yeah.
Already? 4 games in?
Yep.
Why not? I mean, he's had 4 fantastic appearances so far, right?
They're all on Morphling and Terrorblade, though.
But it doesn't matter.
I'm not taking anything away from him.
If he's going to play like that on those 2 heroes, just give him those 2 heroes.
I'm saying that the other teams, I feel like at some point, you know, like
stop giving them these 2 heroes.
I know that it's a lot easier said than done to like just randomly have to ban those 2 heroes, but force them to like prove that he can that they can win without him on these 2 heroes because he's just unstoppable.
We've moved to Series MVP here. Normally we would do map MVP, but we moved to Series MVP. It made no difference. This guy still wins all the MVPs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe. I mean, I think Yapsor might as well win the MVP, you know what I mean?
Last series for sure. In this one, I think there was competition.
Yeah. I mean, one had a great second game as well.
Yeah.
So, but great all-round performance from the team as a whole. They're looking fantastic, aren't they? I mean, the way that they're playing, I know it's only 2 matches and 4 games.
No, but
it's
you can
hard,
see it already.
You can see it, can't you? And it's a wide. I think Kyle picked it up on the casting. It's a wide array of things. It's not just one player or a couple of players playing well, or the meta's right, or they've got a deep hero pool, or they've got switchable picks, or they can move late. It's all of those things.
Yeah.
All of those things so early.
And plus, like the drafting comes in there. Like they know what's strong this game, and they end up with all the correct things in their drafts. Like they have stuns. They have like a real carry hero, and like the teams they played against so far, like the thing is when you're better and you're out drafting, then you're probably gonna win.
I think this is the ultra kill, isn't it? Yeah, this is the ultra kill from Nisha. Yeah.
And that Wyvern, we mentioned in the draft how he turns into it, and you just become a sniper with Morphling's damage, and it's just absolutely insane. Free Scotty as well. This hero, like in the right hands, is just so scary because it's a carry that has double the health pool and mana pool and abilities of a stunning hero potentially. Like you get to pick and choose what hero you want to be in certain team fights. Like sometimes in mid game you need a stunner, sometimes you need just a Wyvern utility. The hero is just too good right now.
Yeah, I think Nisha's probably too good as well.
He's also very good at
honestly, Morphling is one of those heroes you can see, like some people just mess up. Like they have the wrong amount of health, they get stunned, they die instantly. So, yeah.
Yeah, and since his morph is free, like if you use it perfectly, it's just the most broken ability.
You can soak damage and spells and then morph back on your, the fact they have separate HP pools is kind of this crazy concept.
Yeah, I see a lot of Morphlings now. They'll just walk around as like they'll spend the last 5 seconds of their morph just in the other hero, because if you go on them, there's no way you're bursting them down, and so they're just like a free scout too, because you're just not going to burst them. So It's just obnoxiously strong right now.
All right, thank you all three of you. Time for a break. Of course, we've still got 2 more matches, 2 more series to come in Group A to decide the destiny of the other 3 teams, including NiP. And that's also time for me to say goodbye and hand you over to the capable hands of Shiva when we come back. We'll see you soon.